Elevator.
Okay, I closed it. Is he coming? Did you make it?
I think whoever's. I think he's about to be in the ship because
I got the elevator. I got the elevator. I'm watching it.
I have eyes on this Avenger. If you move up, I can just destroy it.
No, the Avenger is empty now. The guy is outside.
Oh, I just can squash the guy then.
I'm watching the elevators right now.
Alright, while you guys sort that stuff out, I gotta relog because this
Shoot
is
the
fucking
Avenger.
bugged. I don't understand why, but
So we are all fully mad now again? I can go?
Yeah, he's inside the ship.
The guy? Okay, everybody leave your turret and go hunt him.
Yeah, he killed me. He was in. He's on the ship.
are you in the cockpit? Because he's gonna try to self-destruct it.
He was by.
I got him. I got him. I got him.
He's dead. He's got
Oh,
it.
he's dead? Okay.
Good job, good job.
So who did we lose?
Just
Twitch.
Where do you spawn, Twitch? Yalla?
I'm in
Ollie?
Ollie. I'm in Ollie. I'll meet you guys on
All in 2? I can come to Ollie and pick you up.
He shot me in the fucking back.
Oh, interesting. No one I jumped down.
Oh, they left.
Yeah, they ain't here. Or if they are, they're hiding heavily. You make your scanner go further. Hold F and then adjust it somehow.
I'm not 100% sure. I have to actually read mine.
Yeah, so warning, they are not a jump down.
Twitch, I'm jumping to Ollie now. Just go hover out some parts.
Okay, you can stay there. I'm coming to you.
Okay.
Alright, I'm getting into my Saber and link up with you guys wherever. I don't have markers, but it's not worth leaving and coming and reforming the whole group.
They're either going to try and pounce on you at some other location, or they're waiting for you guys to get to JT, and they're sitting outside of the jump zone, ready to come in. To
No
hit.
doubt.
Okay. So be alert.
Yeah, they're gonna be trying cheeky shit like that.
Yeah, yeah.
East.
Okay, go ahead and close it. I'm in. Let's roll.
Somebody wanna shoot his plane?
What, outside of Grim?
No, we're outside Ollie.
No, just get over here. Let's get this thing started.
I had to shoot it.
Nah, do it. One less entity on the server.
We're cleaning up the server.
Yeah, I think there's only them and us lot, really, I think.
Space janitors. Hell yeah.
We have a contact in front of us, guys.
I was about to say you haven't. Yeah, you ain't cleaned up shit.
Are you guys still around
Doc.
Porto? You're fighting around
I'm out.
Porto right now?
I'm lining up to Porto.
You're landing at Porto?
No, I'm lining up.
Lining up.
Port out.
Oh, okay.
I have Fugak over here.
Okay, we got scythe scalpels here at JT.
So Fugak is definitely with them, so yeah. They know we're coming.
Okay, guys, I don't know how many of you have been in a turret like that. These turrets have M6s, so you can shoot them about 5,500 meters out. It's a very small target at that distance, so it's really hard to hit. So only shoot when you're sure you can hit, because you will overheat the whole ship if you're shooting without a reason.
Okay.
All right. When you guys get to Yella,
We are about to jump to O2.
to O2?
Yeah.
Okay.
Got a ping above us.
Oh, there are 4 guys here, guys. 5 guys. No,
At
4.
O2.
Yep, there it goes.
A jump.
Fight.
1, 2 guys. That's shooting. And only shoot when
Light
you
him
can
up,
hit.
light him up.
There's a Starfire.
Let's go, Manus. You guys are at OM2 right now?
Yes. 1, 2. My rear shield is gone.
Okay, so scalpel is running because it took out his shield and took out one of his guns.
I'm down.
I just got
I'm
blown up.
down.
I'm out.
We just got blown up.
Yeah,
Huh. What were they flying?
3 Geminis.
That's funny.
That is pretty good, guys. 3 Geminis. And we landed right in the middle of them. They were just
Directly in the
waiting,
middle.
surrounding us. Aim for their ass.
That's funny, man.
That was good shit, though.
Yeah.
The triple Gemini strat, interesting. The old sit at a jump point strat.
Were they just waiting for you,
what's the
boys?
plan?
They were just waiting for you.
Well, you know, to fight 3 crude Geminis.
Sorry, Chief Holland.
Probably need to bring a couple of hammerheads or more. I mean, it's a good question. I mean, they're tough. Fighters aren't going to do it unless you've got, you know, good focus fire. They took down
guys,
those shields pretty quick.
We can go to Oli
2
and
Geminis.
spawn
2
another
Geminis.
So
hammerhead.
2 Geminis, not 3.
Oh, 2. All right.
Yeah, if you're facing against that, you need to bring small ships. You're gonna have to bring small ships because you want to get behind it and hit the holes in the back of it.
The shield.
Or
the rear shield-
600 eyes. But you're gonna
The rear
struggle.
shield just
You,
disappeared. Right?
But that was really, really fast, yeah. I don't know if he did one of them self-destruct or... 'cause that was a little too
I doubt
fast,
it.
honestly.
I doubt it. They're
Yes.
probably fully kitted out with not just the standard guns. There'll be better guns on that.
Size 5 guns.
There's,
on
it doesn't matter. Well, you only have size 5s on the top. And that's only 2 of them. So it's 4
No,
total.
Air
4
Force.
total.
I can guarantee it.
It's funny.
Yeah, they'll have hit you hard. No problem.
I'm surprised they all got the rear shield at the same
They
time.
got the real shit that damn fast. I don't give a damn how many.
Depends where you jumped into, because if they're all sat, because if you come into a jump point and they're in front of you or behind you, because if they're all sat behind you, as soon as you jump in, they'll all
No,
just
they
smash
were all
you.
in
Your
front
ass.
of me when I jumped in.
Well, then they're probably the shield bug. So you forget sometimes if you shoot and target the front, sometimes you're all hitting the back of the shields. So it's like I've had this
But what
with
I'm
my
saying is
Saber.
they only have a total of 12 guns, four size 4s, and what I'm sorry, 8 size 4s, and 4 size 5s. That's not enough to take down a Hammerhead shield that quick. That shit was really fucking fast, man. Like really, really fast. Like the first like 10 seconds.
Well, let's try to let's get in fighters and see if we can take down the gem in some fighters. Because I don't want to take the time to. I mean, honestly, guys, it took us like a fucking hour and a half to get that hammerhead online. So I don't. Until we can speed that up, I don't feel like waiting that long to do it. Again, just get into fighters, get all ready to go, and we'll see what we accomplish.
Contacts directly outside Grimhex.
Twitch, you want to man a Gemini turret?
Yes.
I mean, that is a good idea. You know, with fewer people, you can get a gem online and bring another big ship to the fight. But
Anvil Aerospace, all systems.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, if you had 600 eyes with you, you might have would have thrown a different meta.
I can bring in 600 eye.
Yeah, you might. The thing is, you're still fighting against 2 gems. With 2 gems hitting us,
with proper focus fire, it's definitely going to be tough.
Yeah, you still wouldn't stand a chance. Just 1 600 eye would still get tagged in sec. It's a bit quicker. It'd be a bit more harder to hit. You could move faster, but you'd need to bring a couple. Not just
Skinny's outside Grim and the Gemini.
Yeah, they're hanging outside Grim, just outside the armistice zone.
Proximity alert.
Unless, wait, has anybody tested to see if the gem can actually hold those size 6s? Because if that's the case, then yeah.
Yeah, nobody seems to ever have a full
definite answer on that one, huh?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Certainly
Yeah,
worth looking.
that would kill
buy
a
a size 6
hammerhead
gun, and then
quick.
somebody with a gem needs to buy a size 6 gun and then see if they can put it on. Because yeah, that would explain a lot if they're tagging up on size 6s. That's the end of the day right there. It doesn't appear that you can do that, but my understanding was that was the only thing that you could put a size 6 on at one point.
Yeah.
That's done. This is done. Omniskis. Right, Nens?
AM, no, it's M6s. 5. M5 is what you.
I haven't really given another good shake yet, Ambassador. I still need to dig into it more. I took it off because obviously it's another cable coming off of the headset, but the ED tracker is. I haven't even brought it into flight sims yet, which I'm sure it'll work terrifically on. But I want to give it another crack and see if I can't make it work properly on Star Citizen, because it used to. And unless they've changed something in like 3.0 on with head tracking, there should be a way to get it to work the way I want it to work. But I haven't spent any time on it yet, unfortunately.
Pretty hard landing there, Dressel.
Yeah, that's my piece of trash planes. Don't care. I didn't even put the landing.
Just about to say, did you even put the fucking landing gear down?
Nailed it. You know, you really don't care about a ship or a car or a plane when you don't put the landing gear down to land it. It's like 0 fucks given.
Ah! Okay, so they've got an EMP Hawk. I took out half of the EMP Hawk, and I took out. Well, I didn't take him out. He crashed a little bit as well. To be fair to him, I made sure that we were flying around asteroids. So I had 3 people on me, I think, plus a Gemini flying around. That was
3
fun.
fighters in the gym.
But there's a couple fighters. There's a Hawk, but he's half damaged. There's a Scalpel, which is a scythe, but without any wings now. So I left him alone because he's pretty much useless. But yeah, no.
It's on 0 Twitch.
Yeah, there's quite a few targets out there. It's fun. Oh, the Devil's back. Nice timing, Devil. Could have done with you. Guys could have done with you about 10 minutes ago. You're 600.
10 minutes. That's about an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah, he's like very convenient. Very convenient. I'm not here for the real fights. Only the easy ones.
Sometimes people got stuff to do. It happens.
I know. But you drop everything for the big fights.
You try. I don't think it would have mattered in that particular instance, to be perfectly honest. That was a hammerhead deletion right there.
True. True enough.
And once the hammerhead goes down, we're a few fighters trying to take down 2 Geminis, which have pretty good shooters, supposedly.
I need to get a younger version of this character of mine. He's always out of stamina.
The other thing we could consider is getting. I mean, they're pulling out fighters now, so the other thing we could consider getting is just some harder hitting fighters and try to engage them at further distances, like vanguards and 600 eyes, and attempt to overwhelm the shields or try to take
Someone
pick them
just
off if
spawned a
possible.
blade. Oh no, it's a never mind. Glaive or scythe?
It'll be a scythe. The guy that I took out his wings, he'll be spawning a new one.
There's a scythe, and I can't tell what this other.
Running, apparently, so somebody's invisible there.
You in the turret?
Looking for it. I don't know this shit too well.
Oh, it's when you come up the stairs, it's to the left, and left, and left, left, until you get on the elevator on the top floor. And then it's, when you leave that room, it's right to the left.
Okay. Just make a whole bunch of lefts, right? Alright, I got it.
Yeah, kinda.
Hate this damn ship.
Oh, I love this shit.
Oh, goddamn maze.
Are you on the elevator now?
Don't know. No. Okay, here goes the lift right here.
Yeah, when you come up, you go through the door to the left,
Okay,
and it's
yeah.
right around the corner. You need to stay a little bit away from it when you click on it.
I blew up one of the Starfarers.
How'd you do that?
I just did it.
Complete.
These are bad.
I'm going out skinny Alpine.
You should have dropped some.
Are you invisible, Devil?
I have no
So,
idea.
because
Can I tell if I am or not?
I don't know. There's someone's invisible supposedly.
Weapons offline.
Say there's someone saying Ronan, someone said exploiting invisible bug. I don't think anyone's exploiting it, Ronan, on purpose. I think it might be just desync to ship.
Are you in party, Devil?
Proximity alert. Landing complete. Takeoff complete.
Yeah, they're all definitely watching what's going on. They don't have to there, but you'll see. Air Force will come in here talking shit.
Shields full.
So what's everybody's status?
I'm not saying it out loud.
Anvil Aerospace.
Well,
All systems online.
Okay.
I'm heading to jump.
We barely have a group right now. It's taken incredibly long
Landing gear
amounts of time to
raised.
get anything going.
I'm currently underneath the landing pad at Grim because I felt.
My game just crashed. Oh no, it didn't. Tabbed out. What do you mean, Nate?
Proximity alert.
Yeah, the action's outside Hex at the moment.
Yeah.
Proximity alert.
That's the time you go to jump.
Well,
Ambush them there.
good try.
Well, I mean, you are in their territory now, so I mean, they're going to be pretty competent in both sections, but you really are pushing now into their play area, which is, space. So if you're not competent in space, then it's going to be a good lesson for you.
You don't be a dick about it.
No, I'm not being a dick about it. I'm just saying they're really good. I'm just saying they are good. This, it's a great place to practice, dude.
I think the thing is they've got a better composition and they're all It took us an hour and a half to get Hammerhead manned, and then we had 2 fighters, sort of, and we didn't even engage them all at the same time. I mean, one of the fighters wasn't even there. I wasn't even there. So it's just a matter of unification, of coordinated efforts compared to, I'm sure they're great pilots and all, but
Wait. Focus on the guy that's on our rear.
I'm not saying anything.
what do you mean, Nate?
It's too many. It's way too many of them. How many people do we have actually at Grim Hex? Just so I know, because we're massively outnumbered. Yeah, you get 4 or 5v1s. It's
Yeah, I was out there too, but they're just.
you were on your own. Were you on your own out there? Because
No,
I
I
was
was
trying to help
flying
you.
around with you. Yeah, I was there with you.
Yeah,
but-
trying to get that EMP out of the way. Needed one more
Yeah, I
hit,
mean,
couldn't
at this
take it.
point, normally, like from a tactical perspective, you know, even if we manage to at the exact same time, everybody fly out there and engage, they still have an upper hand. So typically, at this point, we've got to disengage and regroup somewhere else, and either make them come to us or come at them at an angle that is not us, like, you know, flying out of asteroids and in the dark out of Grim Hex and not knowing, you know, where everybody is and all that shit. So let's everybody try to regroup. Let's see. Let me see if I can send you guys.
To jump down on there.
I'll send you guys a message in say. Send you guys a message in where is it? Second chat. If you don't have access to second chat, then you'll just have to follow. But we'll go to a spot that I send you guys on second chat, and then we'll regroup. Obviously, I'm going to take a bit of a different route, just in case.
Can't you mute Discord from your stream? So you can talk to us without the stream here for a minute?
If I put it on a different computer, yeah, could. But I mean, then I would have to not be, you know, it would be me not talking and you guys talking, which would be fine, I suppose, but... Let's see here, I want to do... Yeah, Avery, I'll send you an invite in a second. Avery, what's your in-game name? Is it the same? Is it the same as your? People's names are the same as Twitch.
It looks like we've got the Grim Hex spawning bug. Ships won't spawn for the time being. We have to wait. Too many ships being spawned.
This Ronin dude is mad. I think it's funny, man. He's so fucking salty, but he doesn't realize that it's a bug that most people don't know they've got. There's no way to know that you're the invisible one, you know? Unless somebody that's on your team tells you that you're invisible, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And I don't know who it was. I don't know.
He's all like, it's a violation of terms of service. It's like, well,
it's only terms if you know. Yeah, it's only if you know when you're utilizing it. But if you don't know you've got it, then yeah.
He's just super pissed about it. It's pretty funny.
Probably stack weapons too.
What's that?
He probably stack weapons too, just in case.
Yeah, it's usually the cheaters that get the most angry.
I'm not getting into that conversation. I'm staying way out of that type of conversation because that's just
Everyone
pay.
wants to
You get
fucking
paid.
like compare
Everyone's
it,
getting
like.
paid. Everyone's getting paid. But if you are known to be, if you know you're invisible and you're utilizing that, then that's naughty.
Yeah, obviously it is. But you know, who knows? I don't know. He's just going out of his way to. He's
But he shouldn't.
it would be one thing if he keeps getting blown up by an invisible person. It's just funny that it happens one time.
Is there any way to know if you're invisible?
Shit.
Yeah, you don't know. No, I don't think there's a way you can do it on purpose. But I think if you've become super desynced with the game, you turn invisible in the game. So like, or if you've had a crash out or something. Sometimes like we had it the other day. Somebody like either crashed out and then came back in again, and they weren't. I think it was Snake actually, wasn't it? You were invisible.
Yeah, it was me. Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know until because I was flying against you, and
yes, it was me. Yeah,
kind of did seem like you couldn't see me. So then we found out that I was.
Oh, so it's been in the game in a while. It's not even something new.
No, it's been around for a long time actually. I didn't realize. I thought somebody was cheating as well, similar to what Ronan's doing. I was like, someone's invisible. I wasn't doing the terms of service stuff, but I was saying someone's invisible because I've got video clips of me suddenly like flying all over the place, being hit, trying to find somebody, going, where the hell is this gunfire coming from? And I thought it was an exploit or a cheat or something. But no, it's super. You become so desynced, you become invisible. Like your ship is suddenly, for whatever reason, becomes invisible. It's really weird, but it's been around for a while. It seems to have got. It's the first time I've seen it twice in 2 days. I've seen Snake get invisible, and then I don't know if it's you, Devil, or someone else being invisible. But
I died
that's
a while
crazy.
ago.
Okay, so if it's not you, then so it must be someone else.
Did I get a party invite? I don't know.
But it's hard to know. It's hard to know. The only way to know is if everyone stops fighting, and then whoever obviously. And then everyone just fly around each other to find out who it is. That's the only way to find it.
Can I get an invite, Snake?
When it gets super intense, then everybody's rushing out to fight. It can be hard to know for sure right away. Yeah, coming up.
At the risk of bugging up, the only time we have seen this invisibility thing happen is when we are going into somebody else's ship.
You mean if you're flying somebody else's ship? I don't think that's what happened with me. I think I was.
No, that's the only time I have seen it happen.
I'm wondering if there was a time when I borrowed, or I was being shown like a arrow. It was like an arrow that was supposed to be. No, I don't know. I don't remember. The ladder, don't kill me. Enter ship. Did you guys all get the destination in Discord?
Whereabouts is it?
If you didn't, just follow the markers to the destination, or actually, I guess we can just do it in chat in game. Well, they'll be able to read mine. Yeah. So whoever, let me hide my chat. Okay, my chat is hidden now. You guys can communicate in game in party chat, and you can tell each other where we're going. We shall regroup and then re-engage.
Yeah, Twitch typed it in chat.
Cool.
Landing gear deployed. Landing gear raised.
Did you already grab it, Dressel?
No, I really feel like doing it just for the fun of it.
Let's go. Go grab it.
Yeah, I'm going.
Quantum drive activated. Quantum drive deactivated. drive activated.
What's up, Snake?
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, so I didn't have time to read the change log. What's like the big change with this little patch they just threw in here? Anything dramatic?
They removed weapon stacking. Supposedly, they removed the canopy bug.
That one was bothering me. Nice.
Those are the big ones, as far as I can tell. I don't think that they got rid of speed bugs, and there was a big list of stuff, but I haven't gone through every last item on it. But,
so mainly a hot fix for those two big problems and a couple other small things.
It's the only ones that are like super noticeable off the top.
Right.
But yeah.
Gotcha. Well, that's good.
Yeah, it's a definite improvement. The weapon bug was definitely one that just made it. You know, we did our best to fight and to enjoy it, but it's hard to know if somebody kills you and you're not 100% certain, you know, if they're glitching or not. It's hard, you know, you just can't learn anything from it because you just don't really know what the score is.
Right.
So it's definitely good for everybody involved, I think.
I agree.
Did you guys all there yet?
Me and Xavier are gonna take off. Thanks for the fun here.
Cool. Have a good night, guys. Thanks for flying with us.
See you later.
I'm spawning it all in, getting my Hornet, rendezvousing with you guys.
Cool.
I actually don't even know why I still have a Hornet. I've never bought a Hornet. I don't have it. I guess it's on loan, but I don't know what for. I have no reason, no knowledge as to why I would have a Hornet on loan.
It's probably a loaner from. I mean, what ships do you own?
I have a Cutlass Black, which I've never done anything with, and then I had an arrow with LTI during the ship show, which I then melted into a Prospector with LTI. That's literally all I own. Cutlass and a Prospector.
No.
What's that?
No.
So yeah, the fact that I have a Hornet is like a total mystery to me.
Yeah, I don't know. It must be for some ship that you either have. I mean, does the Prospector get a Arena Commander loaner ship?
I mean, that's a possibility. I'm assuming maybe, or I mean, it's not the subscriber ship or anything, and I'm not a subscriber, so that don't make sense either. I don't know. Weird. Well, free combat ship for me. Sweet. Kind of sucks though, just Gatlings and nothing else. It's kind of.
Say that again. So, what? Say your list out your ships again for you. Do you have a Prospector?
So, Cutlass Black and a Arrow with LTI that was melted into a Prospector with LTI.
Yeah, your loaner for a Prospector is 2 ships. You get an F7 and you get a something else. Oh no, yeah, you get a Prospector. You get an F7 with a Prospector, I think, because you can't fly the Arena Commander.
Because you can't fly the. Gotcha. Okay, well, there it is. Sweet. Alright.
Alright, guys. I'm gonna go in and respawn ship. Free to do the same if you guys want something different.
Yeah, no worries. I'm trying to fight Delta in his warden. Motherfucker. I wasn't paying attention, and then he tagged me, and we got into a nice little fight. But the problem I find is because with ESP, I switch off ESP when I fight medium to big ships because I don't want to be dragged in front of those big guns because the warden's got big guns in the front, so I don't want to be dragged. So I switch ESP off. By switching ESP off, my aim goes to shit because it's tough. So hitting a target becomes incredibly difficult.
Yeah, it's sort of a trade-off for me too. I typically roll with ESP on, but there are times it's not it's not super common, but there are times when it feels like I'm fighting it, and I'm not sure. I mean, it generally helps more than it hurts, so I usually don't turn it off. But I think I don't know if it's just busy fights. Because obviously, if you have multiple targets flying in front of you, that could mess with it. But even in single combat, it seems like occasionally it's a little bit. I think it might be like desync, kind of like the reason that it sucks with AI is because what the information you're getting on your PIP, which is probably the information your ESP is getting, is not synced up with what you're seeing. So, say again.
We got a Sky thing coming on the Gemini.
Oh, really?
Let's see.
Okay,
Okay, there he goes.
Interesting.
Just get us up as fast as possible, and then maybe pitch up. Pitch up. A little more. Pitch up again.
Are you guys here at the location?
Shit.
There you go. Yeah, you're gonna have to roll. He's in that little zone. You're gonna have to roll.
So I don't get what's going on because I came in later. Are you guys being challenged by like
There you
another
go.
team?
Just
of
keep
dudes?
rolling.
What?
Yeah, they took control over the Grim area, so now we're trying to regroup outside of there.
Oh, gotcha.
Don't say out loud where you're headed until we're ready for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I have to go. Nice playing with you guys.
Cool. Thanks for flying with us, Patrick.
We're bleeding troops on
Yeah. You're locked out of the Discord chat area.
Oh, God, I can't
What's your Discord name, Avery?
You can try to get us out of atmosphere. I lit him up.
19,000.
Yeah, he's all lit up.
Yeah. I think this is working. What we're doing.
Yeah, because he can't stay in that back part. He's backing off.
Are you guys at the rendezvous right now?
No, we're actually on our
we
way.
got a jump
We got it.
We just filled up starter between the one we are leaving.
Ha! I see. I see a variation on the plan. Gotcha.
No, we were there already long before we made the plan.
I gotcha.
The
So
bait and switch.
Did you guys get blown up, or did you fight through it?
Oh no, he can't stay in that little hole. Oh, he's spinning, and I'm just fucking lighting his ass up. Besides,
all right, can you guys hear me now?
Yep.
Yep.
Awesome sauce.
How's it going, man?
Not too terrible. I can't complain. Of course, that never stopped me.
Keep on going.
Yeah.
I got you.
All
He's
right,
coming. He's
let's see if I
coming
can
back.
make this work.
Okay, I am out. I'm gonna go a little bit higher so I can maneuver better.
Yeah, he's backing off. He's coming back.
So, guys, if you want it, I've got a hammerhead completely equipped with M5A laser cannons.
We did try that, but they jumped us. It would have probably been a little bit better fight had we been better prepared for it. But yeah, we did try that. We could try it again. The only problem with that is it takes us a long time to mobilize right now.
He's coming back. You have to spin before you do your jump.
I'm working on a jump right now.
He's 45 out. Can you actually?
All right, I'm coming back into the game. I'll need a reinforcement.
You're good.
Jumping. That was a really short
It looks like. Did you crash?
Avery,
oh, that was a.
You can use some push to talk, man. It's we're hearing everything going on over there.
Talking to me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Huh,
He's
okay.
directly behind us. Set.
What the heck?
Yeah, it's a few of them. Go, 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 go.
It's spooling.
There's a really high gain on your mic.
That is weird. It is set to push to talk.
We're jumping to Delamar.
Yeah, good shit.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah, let's hit him with the server mute. Got. Take him out.
Hey, can I get an invite?
Yes. All right.
I'm seeing all you guys spread out all over the place. I don't know where to go.
In second chat, there's a location if you have access to that.
Negatory.
Invite sent.
I'll just follow someone's nav. That'll work.
I'm not sure what else to say. We're trying to maintain ComSec, so.
Yeah, no worries. Figure it out on the fly here.
Yeah, I actually am not. I'm still not showing chat. So if you guys want to tell him in-game team chat.
Oh yeah, direct on party comms. There you go.
All right. Let everybody just check in when you actually get to rendezvous, and then we'll go to the next phase.
We have a Saber Comet somewhere.
Yep.
I'm not finding Levski.
Pitch to your right.
On Levski.
He's you're gonna have to spin. You're gonna have to spin because he's
Test.
Yep.
Okay, push to talk is active and working. Is my gain still too high?
No, it sounds like it's working now.
It's working now, yeah.
How bizarre. I don't know what that was about.
Yeah, sometimes audio is like that. Audio drivers and such are never the same 2 times in a row for whatever reason.
I know it's going to be dangerous for you to spin on approach, but you may have to a little bit.
Yeah, I know. This is...
Hi, Adney. Did I just pull you with me? Group keep
Nah,
me?
but I'm heading there.
Ah.
We can swap
There's a
ships
max
out here,
directly
right?
behind us. There's a max directly behind us. You're going to
Yeah,
spin.
just don't say the location.
Yeah, I won't. What ships are we in? Because we got to be in the right, like, com.
We're in some proper ships.
Yeah.
I don't know about
Just
J
type what
Bone
ships.
over here.
Type what ships we're in party chat. Can we?
They'll know what I'm in. I'm in a 600i, but you guys can keep what you're in classified, and then hopefully it'll be a little bit harder for them to bring me down immediately.
Yeah, they got the whole back down. You're going to have to...
I'm turning on, facing them a little bit. Did you get one? Oh, come on.
Yeah, it was like 5 ships on this, man. I was
Really?
keeping them off as best as possible. It was a max that was trying to stay with us the whole time.
Are you two coming with us?
We would have had one more person with us on those
Did-
shotguns. It would have been...
Did any one of us just was shooting at Delta in the Warden?
Anybody
I think I'm
engaging
out.
Delta? Doesn't sound like it.
Anyone here in the party?
Okay, so who are we waiting on? Are we waiting on Twitch in there? Or are we just going?
Yeah, I'm at rendezvous. Anybody else?
No,
That's
who
not
are
a
you
rendezvous.
engaging?
Let us know.
Were you shoot? He was because someone was shooting at him as well. I think they were invisible. It was a warden. Anyone was just been shooting a warden.
Well, crap. Doesn't look like you
Yeah,
guys.
we're
can
live
hear me.
people. Like, is Twitch and Drizzle? You guys can't.
No, we were in.
I'm not gonna.
I can hear you now, Avery.
Yeah, when I'm in the game, you can't. Maybe this is not set to run in admin. I'll be.
Oh, it just crashed.
Who did?
2 seconds. I'll just be back in a sec.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, I'm out. Don't worry.
Just so I know, what is the name of the enemy contact?
Won't
All right,
matter.
guys.
They won't be in the group.
Status. What's your guys' status en route to rendezvous?
Present.
Right now,
Star-Lord's on the way. We can use this place to call out ships, right?
All right, testing again. Can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you.
Oh, I was getting annoyed.
I'm currently present with you guys. I don't know if you guys see me or not. The invisibility thing.
As far as I know, nobody's invisible in our group, but
But how would we know?
exactly.
I know. How would you know?
All right,
Okay, so
who's still en route?
coming.
Let's put it this way: who's still en route to rendezvous?
Well, Star-Lord is here. I am physically here. I'm right next to the thing.
But who is still?
Oh yeah,
not-
you're desync the shit then. You're invisible, by the way.
See, that's what I mean. What the hell?
I'm working on it. You guys go ahead and I'll join you.
Okay, so we'll link up with Even later. Star-Lord's desync, so you should just try to relog or something. And then Twitch and Drizzle, how far are you guys away?
Pad leaving now.
Okay.
You're at the rendezvous though.
No, I'm actually jumping now.
Well, if that's
We're
the case,
on
that
our
might
way
be
and got
beneficial for us
chased.
in the battle.
Come in something that can hit hard. Oh, actually, maybe not. Yeah, come on like a fighter, I'd say.
They had 2 EMP ships, so.
Yeah.
That a Hawk and a Raven.
Who's in the 325?
I
Anybody?
don't think it's one of us.
This 325 this was Jay Ballin's 325, but oh no, 325. Oh, fair enough. It was up here.
It's an interesting strategy, Lothar. It's an interesting strategy. All right. So we're all here then. It sounds like.
No, we're waiting on Twitch and.
No, I'm actually on my way.
I have an invisibility cloak, but don't mind me. I'm behind you.
Try to. Well, you know about it now, man. So I'll just try to store your ship or relog or something. Because
Yeah, otherwise we'll
we're
get shit
cheating
for
if
it.
you don't try to.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
All right, I'll log on for my bid then.
Yeah, that'll actually probably do it.
Oh wait, this doesn't have a bed. Damn it.
Well, that's a problem.
That's
Well, you can
a problem.
store here, by the way. You can just.
You can.
Park
You can't
here.
Here,
spawn.
this is what I'm gonna do, or I'm gonna try to rather. Snake, let me jump aboard and unlog from your bed and try to log back in, maybe. One of your beds in your 600. Maybe.
Yeah.
No?
You can give it a whirl.
Don't do the captain's bed.
Yeah.
Don't do
I don't know.
what?
I got
Oh, the captain's
a
bed?
feeling. I got a feeling that won't even do anything because that doesn't make your ship randomly appear. Like we
Yeah,
don't
it's
see
probably
anything.
tied to your ship too. Yeah, just
So,
yeah.
I would just kill it. Yeah, just log off or
Yeah.
whatever you gotta do and just try to get here quickly because we'll waste time trying to figure it out.
Yep. All right, I'm gonna go grab something to drink real quick, and then when I get back, that'll probably be about time when Twitch is here, and then we'll go
Already
re-engage. Get back in. You're already here. Okay. Well, we'll
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. So that
All right,
just
well-
leaves Drysel and a couple other guys that we can link up with if we need.
Okay.
Can somebody type in local chat again? No, not local. Where we're meeting up?
Yeah, someone type it in the party.
You guys, you guys
Not
have to do
locals.
that. Yeah.
Good work, Twitch.
Party
Good
chat.
shit. Good shit.
Contact received.
All right. So. Well, I think what we should do is sort of slow fly it back in, because if we go into a jump point that's nearby, then they're going to be able to know that to hang out there. We'll get to it before we can. So we'll go to a spot that's not crazy far away, and then we'll just have to manually fly in to the AO.
Do you want to fly near Grim or in Atmo? Might not be a bad idea to fly in Atmo.
That's probably a good idea. Yeah, we could do that. We could try to get to a rendezvous point on Yella and move in from there.
Yep. Yeah, let's do that.
All right. So let's see.
Yeah, whenever you get a chance, just re-invite me, and I should be able to see generally where you guys are at.
Engines off.
Let's see. Oh yeah, you're on this list. Hang on. I mean, you guys are saying you want to try to hold Jumptown.
I think that's the best move.
Okay.
Just quietly.
Sounds good. I'm gonna put in sort of the pathing into second chat, and then you guys can start on your way, and I'll take a different route, but I'll link up with you guys as soon as I can.
Are we missing anyone? How about Invisible Man? You good?
I just logged out from Snake's bed. Coming back in. I'm gonna try that first. If it doesn't work, then I'll do a full relog.
Yeah, but we're probably not gonna wait for you, to be honest. So if it works, it works. If not, just kill yourself and then spawn a ship and try to get to us as soon as you can.
Yeah.
Got a ship coming in, Poltergeist, on a Durr.
All right, I put it in there. Path. You guys let me know if you have any issues with it, and then distro whoever doesn't have access, or whoever has access to second gen. Just kind of transcribe that into a party chat if you would be so kind.
I still need a re-invite.
Simple one.
Let me know if you guys can see my nav in his ship. Am I in his ship?
Whose ship?
Yours.
I'm confused. Where you logged out?
Yeah.
You can see me? Okay, good.
I can, yeah.
Yep, fixed it. I snuck aboard, logged out from your bed, logged back in.
What ship were you flying? Because we're not gonna know if your ship's here.
It was the abandoned Hornet.
Can't see it.
It's abandoned.
Oh no, I see one. I see one.
Right. So you guys try to.
Oh yeah, perfect. You spawned the Hornet too. That's great. Nice, dude. Well, at least we know that's a good fit.
You're not gonna get in your ship.
Oh, you want me to? Okay. You want some extra firepower or no? I mean,
I think the extra fighters right now is better than because the turrets on this thing just don't really accomplish much at the moment in a fast-paced fight. I think having another fighter for them to try to focus on is stronger.
Well, I'm glad my theory worked.
Yeah, well done, dude. Alright, well let's start getting this going.
Go ahead and, if as many of you guys together jump as one as possible in case they do somehow intercept you, and then I will start making my way after you guys have jumped out. Just let me know when you've made your first jump, and
if you want to press close exterior, by the way, I exited.
Okay.
Someone put it in the party.
God, this game sometimes. Oh my god.
Somebody, Twitch, are you able to grab the?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
I'm gonna meet you guys there. My game's scuffed.
Dude, I think this server is just scuffed.
No, I got locked out in Mobiglass and in my chat box, so they were cancelling each other out. I couldn't do anything. How dumb is that?
Something's
Can't
weird.
move around because technically I'm a Mobi. Can't type anything on my keyboard.
Yeah, that happened to me yesterday.
My guns aren't working.
Yeah, I'm getting weird input delays too here.
Twitch, you got visual on me right in front of you? Am I good now?
What is that?
No, I couldn't. What'd you say?
Saying you have visual on me and right in front of you here? I'm good.
What are you in? Oh, yeah, I can see.
Yeah, we all see you. We all see you.
Alright, good. We're good.
Super confused. I think I'm bugged. I can't shoot my guns. Let's see if my energy.
Did you take the guns off? Wait, you took the guns off and put it on the hot light, didn't you?
No, I checked that to make sure. I still have them all, but they're not shooting.
Check your ship manager, maybe see if they're just equipped.
There's still 3 guns on here from the outside. Just can't. It doesn't shoot them. My trigger doesn't shoot them for whatever reason. That's not good. Let me get out of my seat and get back on.
Well, even from the relog, it retained my ship settings. Even when I abandoned and left it here, the things are still overclocked. That's neat.
Alright, I'm gonna try and get to you guys as soon as I can, but let's just like really get this moving.
What is the range on that dude's EMP?
That's pretty short.
150 meters. It depends on what he's in. I think if it's the Warlock, it's further out, isn't it?
I think it's 1K on the Warlock.
It's not 1K, no way.
Yeah, it's not 1,000 meters for sure. In fact, I was fighting around an EMP earlier, and it was definitely like I was pretty close and thought he was going to get me, and he never did.
The Warlock has more range now.
Somebody initialized. We're jumping.
Yeah, that's okay.
Well, yeah.
Oh, I should be able to meet you guys.
They might have nerfed it, but it did.
I might need another invite though. Sorry about it.
Yeah, that's fine. Let me know. I'm going to be just a fucking decoy if I can't figure out why the fuck my guns won't shoot. I'm gonna shit off and back on again here. Gotten out of the seat, gotten back into it. So fucking confused.
I've heard that specifically toggling each weapon system off from the panel and then putting them back on sometimes unbugs it. But not all the time. I haven't personally tested that, but...
Alright, I'm gonna be heading there.
I don't know, I can just go with you guys. I honestly, I've never fucking had this happen before where fucking these guns don't fucking work at all, so.
You could probably kill yourself and just spawn a shit real quick.
It's already taking so fucking long, I'm just gonna fucking...
Yeah, but you'd be quick and most of the work's done.
I guess. Alright, you guys are out already, right?
What do you mean?
Yeah, we'll just link up there at the spot that we're all at, and then you can just rush a ship to us. It'll be...
Alright.
Like I spun up a ship already, I'm like already heading there.
Yeah, I'm just making my solo way down to the general area.
Maybe might be being an idiot. I may have not moved out of Armistice. It's going to be that time of night. My brain is fucking fried from trying to get this shit kicked off.
You have your landing gear down.
Yeah, I know.
Quantum travel engaged.
Shouldn't you be flying to places, Drizzle?
I am crew 1.
Are they still on the server?
Yeah. No, apparently that's not it. It's still fucking that.
Quantum travel complete.
Whatever, dudes. I'm just fucking so fucking over this shit, dude. I'm not gonna take another fucking 20 minutes to get another fucking ship right now. I'll just fucking ram these fucks.
Yeah. Alright. Snake's
Yeah,
speaking my language now. Snake's speaking my language, okay? 12 I'm thinking 12 to 30 meters per second right at their face.
I'm thinking spool for quantum in front of them. Oh, I hate to be that guy, but I'm pretty sure they've gone, by the way. I don't even think they're on the server.
Well,
Do you guys have
victory,
names?
Right? Yeah.
Check if you can.
Whenever you're ready, Devil.
No, I just bounced. Awkward. Sorry.
That's weird.
Yeah, I don't see most of them. It's true. They may have left already.
Jumptown is clear. Confirmed Jumptown clear.
Well, that's awkward. I think we need to take a long, hard look at how long this took us, boys.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, if you were fucking around at JT Hall and Widow while we're trying to group up.
Well, yeah, at the end of the day,
Retro.
I'm gonna, since there's no, yeah, I'm just gonna go fucking replace my ship with somewhere else. And threat is gone. I guess that's one way to defeat unknown threat. Just wait them out.
Active scan also shows nothing.
I was gonna say, what else would you expect from a cosmic drug addict, though?
So
right.
go ahead and yeah, I mean, if you guys want to, what we can do is get in a, you know, you guys are in fighting ships right now. Try to go establish Jumptown, and we will go back to what we are good at, which is making money at a Jumptown we control. See if we can entice anybody to come fight.
Yeah.
Finally make it, you know, give us a reason to have done all that.
Let's make sure we get better, like, tomorrow night too. Like, let's make sure we get better at the process of, like, using the party chat, hiding the party chat.
Yeah, so I think
picking a destination.
I'll try to come up with some good, like, streamlined procedures, but the bottom line is we just need to, as quickly as possible, get to the same spot and get aboard a ship, and maybe we just even try seeing how fast we can do that by itself. And we can go try to terrorize people or whatever, but it definitely needs to happen a lot faster.
Yeah, just get some pre-established routes and rendezvous points.
Yeah, I'll work on some of that stuff if other people have already, you know, figured out good SOPs. Feel free to bring them up, but yeah, I'll try to work on some good ways to speedily mask our routes. And
a good way we can practice it too would be like we just go to JT, clear it out, immediately park our ships, hop to another server, and see how fast we can get right back to JT as a group.
Could do. I mean, I think that really the main thing is when you've got to reposition, you've definitely got to get out of there as quickly as possible and reset, because trickling out takes a long time before once you finally realize, oh, we need to leave, because oh boy.
And another one too is like storing your ship at Grim is just a bad idea.
I mean, it's easy to see why you want it. Like, if fighting remains a jump town, then it's probably a good idea. If it seems like it's gravitating to jump town, then maybe immediately, once the fighting starts to seem like it stays at Grim, then at first convenience, fly your ass to Porto or somewhere else. And
I just think if we store at Porto, because you jump from Porto to Yella, that's one extra jump, and then you're going straight to.
I guess you're right. Technically speaking, the
thing is, you won't notice it too.
Not that
but
different,
like,
right?
You won't. Yeah, you won't notice this too. But me and like Megan and a couple others suffer it really bad. Is the glaives and some of these big ships, they share one pad at Grim, so it takes us so long to get out of Grim. Where you guys are like getting in fighters where you've got 5 pads.
Well, plus if you want to take out something bigger, you're already at a place that you can do that and all that stuff. Yeah. I think it's a pretty good idea. Generally speaking, I don't think it saves you that much time to take out a Grim, and you definitely are. Oh, everybody's assuming you're going to come out of Grim, so they're going to hover there and try to blockade. And if you're not there, then it's pretty low difficulty level to get back in the fight.
OB3 is one of our boys, right?
Yeah,
OB3?
Yes, he's in the party.
Alright.
Oh, OB3. Yeah.
I figured when he didn't blow me away when I was not paying attention, he probably would.
No. All right, let's see where my 600 at. You guys with the gem, if you want to make some money, go nuts. I'm going to bring in a fighter, and you guys can do your stuff.
If you are protecting Jumptown, I could make up some of the money I lost.
Yeah, absolutely. That's since you guys are in a good platform for it, and we'll just roll this right into a kind of the format that we were going to try to do before, which is Starfarer with escorts.
Once we got another person or two here, I'll go ahead and grab my miss and provide the artillery.
You mean like missiles?
Exactly.
It's yeah, missiles are. I don't know. Missiles are in a weird place.
Yeah, even if they don't hit, they seem to like to stick to things and really screw up your ability to maneuver.
Well, there you go. I was going to say, they're kind of worthless at this point, but that's a valid point. They do push people around.
They've done some work on missiles, but I don't think it's changed how you deal with them a whole lot.
You've got to use, we still have to use them though. We shouldn't write them off because they're like such good zoning tools and stuff.
No, you're right. It is a zoning tool. That's absolutely true.
That goes over my head. I feel a little slow. What do you mean by zoning tool?
People can't just let them hit them and not worry about them, because chance they do enough damage to either hurt you or blow you up. So you still have to kind of separate, defeat the missiles, and then come back, and that gives the rest of your crew time to fight the whatever hasn't left the area. So it's sort of like, it's like a way to occupy at least one threat, if not more, at any given time.
I feel like so many of us are becoming kind of preconditioned to just be like, oh, a missile, it's worthless, it's not going to hurt me. And then when in the future, when they do become, solid threat, people are going to have to readapt to the whole missile warning and popping flares and chaff is going to become a thing. Right now it's not a thing, but it will become one. And that's going to be another learning curve.
I don't just fly around and let them hit me. I mean, I still use sound missile defense, like separate, roll, flare, and chaff. But once they're yeah, there's a lot of issues with them, but I think just like a new flight model, once they confirm that they're a thing,
Right.
then it'll be time to really study how you defeat them.
Let me tell you, they work just fine in Arena Commander.
Well, the
Against
fact that they're
AI,
like trying to patch them
but-
just shows that they're probably a week or two away from being pretty up there.
I mean, I think that's it, when you go into Arena Commander and you use missiles on AI, it's kind of like shocking how satisfying it is. You're like, oh my god, a missile just hit a target and blew it up. Like that's what missiles are supposed to fucking do.
I'm talking about Battle Royale.
I literally just
They don't work
discovered
that well in
work
Battle Royale
yesterday.
either. I mean, it's not like you tag somebody with one missile and they blow up. They still are pretty easily defeated, and there's lots of issues with missiles, but they definitely need to. Right now,
Who's
that
Red
all they
X?
are is like
Kill
a AOE that doesn't have any threat of killing you unless you literally just stand there and take it.
Red X is not welcome.
Snake, do we know a Red X? Yes or no?
No,
All right. Check him out, boys.
He's bugging.
It's going 1,000,000 miles an hour.
Hey, can I get an
I
invite?
was just
I'm
thinking
getting
the
really
same
close.
thing. He's moving fast as hell.
yeah, coming.
Speed bug, I'm assuming.
We're catching him.
Hi, Edney. Invite.
Yo, what's up, dude? So I've had a
man.
lovely conversation with. I've been chatting to the guys, Lucky, and the guys that you were fighting earlier. So we had a nice chat.
Nice.
So there was quite a few people. There was quite a few people. There was a lot of desync going on. They said there was at least one or two people, and I noticed that as well. When I was fighting somebody, there was a couple of people who were invisible as well. So there's definitely a couple of people. It was heavily desynced towards the
Are
end.
you guys all chasing someone?
Do you think it's the server? Or do
Yeah,
you
it was
think
the
it's
server.
individual?
No, it's the server. It's not individuals. It's the server. Well, it might be the server connected to the individuals, but
I
there
believe
was.
it's the patch because it's happening to a lot of people.
Oh,
I didn't see
really?
it at all
It could
yesterday.
be too. I mean, it could be too.
That's interesting. Are you guys
Well,
in
everybody
different
knows
servers?
It was happening
We're
to
on the
charging
same server
vehicles a lot.
Okay, so that's cool. No, that's cool. Because if you guys got jump time clear,
Yeah, for right now, I guess they're
Sweet.
fighting somebody, but yeah,
We just leaving, man.
we're reestablishing JT ops now. So
yeah. Okay, so the guys have left, so you're now clear to hold. it
yeah,
down.
we noticed that. Yeah, it was. I mean, it's definitely not the outcome we were trying to get, but it's just one of those things where, we don't really have a. If we want to really mount a concerted competitive effort, we can't just keep trickling out of Armistice, and you got to reset. But resetting, we got to get better at, and that's mostly, to be honest, it's mostly on me. I mean, getting at the end of the day, the logistics of it is probably falls on me. So we'll just practice it a little bit more, have some set, do this or run this route, kind of like black and gold in the military used to be. Like if something bad happens, you just call out one of them and people know what it means and where you're going, and we don't have to do like all the super secrecy and come up with on the fly some kind of masking technique. You know what I mean? It'll just be a lot more simple, and it'll just be you go to this spot, and the second you get there, everybody regroups there. It'll probably take 5 minutes or less because everybody knows exactly where to jump to. It'll take too long for them to figure it out by the time we're all there already. And if they jump into that area, then we can fight them. If not, then we can re-engage or whatever. But
So they had standard loadouts on the Geminis.
Nice, good to know.
There was nothing fancy. There's no science.
Were those just normal? Were they just normal? Were those the ones pulled with the NPC
Nothing.
missions?
Just stock stuff.
So they'd stock Geminis with people on turrets as well.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe so.
I don't know.
Isn't
I
the
find
turret
that hard
the
to.
size
I find that
fives?
really hard to believe.
Hold
To
on,
be honest.
eight size 4s taking
They
down a
wouldn't
shield
lie
that
to me.
fast. It was like 10 fucking seconds, man. There's no way in
I
fucking
mean-
hell.
I'm
No,
just
I
saying.
think that's
I'm
about
telling
right.
you.
Unless
telling you.
unless
What's
it
weird
got
about
hit
it?
in between a hole or something like that, there's no way in hell.
Yeah, I think that the reason it gives people pause is because I think everybody's been part of a hammerhead on hammerhead fight, and there's a lot more sets of size 4 turrets on those.
Thank you.
And it takes a very long time for one of the hammerheads to come out on top. It's just like forever. Now, granted, there were 2 Geminis, but it does seem like the time to kill.
Don't they have
was
size
definitely
5
different.
turrets?
I have gone up against the hammerhead, and all of the guns shot at the same, let's call it shield, and they went right through and blew up.
But
the problem is
Small one. Test it out sometimes.
We can
do it.
Turret.
That's no.
Because a lot of people just underestimate 3 Geminis.
Yeah, but how?
Sat there with 2 fucking 600 eyes, and it takes a minute for 2 600 eyes to get through the fucking shields.
You just got to test it out, Twitch. If you've never tried it, that's the only way to
know.
Well,
I'm looking at the numbers. The numbers, it just doesn't fucking support it.
It's definitely worth testing out. I mean, it's not to. I don't think it's nobody wants to be like immediately calling. It's just a matter of everybody's played the game long enough to feel like the time to kill was fast. So that just means that testing needs to happen. Testing needs to happen to see what's going on with that. Maybe somebody had said recently that they changed, or that like the hammerhead dual generators now was like one was to the front and the other one was to the back 3, and so, or the 2 side and the back one, and so maybe now if that's a change, then maybe that's like it is a lot more fragile on the other 3 panels. Who knows? But I definitely think we should look into it and try it out, because I've watched 2 hammerheads just wail on each other for 10 fucking minutes. And it took a long time for them to take each other down.
I'm just going to check as well with them if they hit you with anything else, because you forget they were running other ships as well, so they might not have just been just 2 Geminis hitting you. They may have had
annoying.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's annoying because the one other exploit you can do outside of invisible is with Geminis. So it's like, fuck, there's still that doubt, because there's that Gemini cheat right now.
What's that?
I don't believe that. I honestly, knowing them, I don't believe that.
You can pick up the ECN missions, and you've got a crew of NPCs to shoot the turrets.
No, those weren't those were Geminis. Those weren't those standard ones. I know what you're talking about.
It wasn't those, yeah.
No, they actually had real Geminis. That was their own ships.
Yeah, they don't.
It sounds a lot like they just. Yeah, it just sounds a lot like this is our paper, to be honest.
Whatever it was, it just seemed weird being able to take down the hammerhead that fucking quick.
Because if we didn't come in the hammerhead, we came in other ships. If we came in other ships besides the hammerhead, they can't do that. So they purposely picked the catchy guys off guard with slow immobile ships.
We have other ships. We can test it out real quick.
It was a good play to counter the hammerhead they knew coming with a couple gems, but it's definitely just a shock. I think it was just shocking to we expected it to be a competitive fight, and it was definitely not, it would seem. So I think that's the main thing we want to get to the bottom of, figure out, learn from it, that type of thing.
Definitely. Well, you definitely learn from it for sure, because you now know how strong a Gemini is. So you now go away and test that yourself and go, okay, I've got a Gemini, let's go fly it and see how good it is.
Yeah.
Another way we can do it.
You face a HH, you'll know next time you face yourself against a HH, you might go, okay, let's spawn 2 Geminis and take it out.
Another thing we can do is have like someone like really low radar hovering around, just so we actually got eyes on them, because they've got eyes on us by default, but knowing what they're up to too while we're grouping up. I mean, there's pretty neat.
They knew what we were bringing, where bringing it from, exactly. So that's part of it. Obviously they would be a little bit less capable of
absolutely
doing that.
But we roll around with stealth fighters, like we could just get our guys to take use of them, watch what they're doing, because they gotta to get those things out and to us, taking them a lot of time.
Can you invite J-Ball and myself?
Yep. You guys are already making a
contact
run, right?
Where at?
That's fucking Snake. He isn't in the group. Huh?
I am in the group.
I can't see your marker.
Yeah,
well, I mean,
All right, take him
that's 'cause
out.
I had to relock.
Alright, fucking ram him.
Ram him.
It's bullying.
Take that asshole out.
ESP activated.
Self-destruct.
Engaging Roger.
10
Engaging
seconds.
Mac and J-Ball. That's right. Okay. All right. Invite sent. Let me know if you guys didn't get them.
Another thing I was thinking was, I was like, when I was playing by myself this morning, I was going up against a Gemini, and it's so easy if you just shoot a Gemini up its ass because the turret's not underneath. So if we bring Geminis to JT where they're hauling cargo or whatever, or we're trying to protect the cargo, fly super low so no one can get that angle on us.
You don't even need that. If you actually man the Gemini is dangerous as hell in the back. It's fucking 4 size 4s on the back of the Gemini.
Yeah, but the problem is, what I'm saying is that it has a huge blind spot, and a fighter can out-rotate the Gemini.
No,
This guy was trying to tumble it, and
if you have, I'm saying if you have 2 people in those turrets in the back, there's no blind spot in the back of the Gemini. It's that whole place where people like to be at, you'll get killed back there.
Up in its grill?
Yeah, you talking about where the those little what do you want to call them, tanks are?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's 4 size 4s up under the back there.
Yeah, maybe it was just undermanned.
Well, just thinking about it, I think the belly would still be blind spot back there. Just thinking about the placement of those turrets, I don't think they could hit you if you were actually under those.
Well, the soft spot is those where the tanks are.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so the belly, they can hit the belly all day.
It's hands down the cargo shit we gotta use though. Like, it's so good. So good for a cargo ship.
Once all the damn shields actually started working like they're supposed to.
Who's Star-Lord, by the way?
One of us.
Kill him.
That's me.
Ambassador of Truth.
Yep.
Who's at Jumptown? Any of you know Star-Lord or whoever to follow basically into Jumptown?
At least 5
all of us are here.
Because I don't see all the tags, I only see Star-Lord, Hadley, and MacGyver. Okay, I'll
see. Yeah, I'm ready.
Don't shoot me, please.
One thing I noticed is when my icons are bugged, like I can't see everyone in the group. If I just leave it for a while, it just starts to pop.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah, that happened to me twice yesterday. I was like really impressed by it, to be honest.
Right, I'm gonna go stealth down low and grab something to drink, and I'll be right back.
Are we being sneaky? I should have heard my lights off then, huh?
I mean, if it's possible to be sneaky, I always do that over not being sneaky.
Let's start hauling or something, because I don't think anybody's coming.
No, I mean, that's why we got one crew hauling, and I can, if it seems real quiet, I'll just go get my cat and we'll do that.
I am incoming in a Cutlass to buy some stuff.
Yeah, be right back.
It's a money run, boys. It's a money run.
Alright, guys, at 10% tax.
Alright, guys. Whenever you see the cat come in, ram it.
When you see the cat
McGee, right?
No, there's another one. It's called EMP McGee.
Oh, EMP McGee.
Yeah.
So you EMP him and ram him at the same time?
Yeah. ESP EMP. So what you do is you turn on ESP and then you max everything in the afterburner and you right click and then they just fall out of this.
Yeah, I had someone do that to me yesterday a couple times.
Ram you and EMP at the same time?
Yeah, I had to admit, they actually came off worse, which was hilarious. There was 2 hawks. One ran me, he died. The second one ran me, he died. Then I killed his 3rd friend. It was funny. Then you guys came back, Devil and the other person else. And oh no, it was a few other people, and then we had a bit of a scrap in space, and then I died. But that was fun. Oh, maybe it wasn't with you actually. I had quite a few fights yesterday. It might have been somebody else actually. But yeah, that's just filthy.
You can combat it really easy. Figured it out.
Not if you're not realizing someone's about to ram you from the side with an EMP. You don't know it's coming. If you know it, sure. Don't.
Alright, Dressel.
Charging at you with a locked ESP. Sucked you in, Automan.
Right back.
That was an EMP.
But I mean, it's a good strategy at the end of the day. I mean, you don't lose anything apart from obviously cargo if you're running cargo, but it's a good strategy. When Death of the Spaceman comes in, ramming and killing itself might not be such a good thing to do, but no, nothing wrong with it.
God, I'm looking forward to that mechanic.
It will definitely stop people if they make it so that it is not good on a dial time. I don't know. The Death of Spaceman is going to be a really weird one for me, because if you make it really harsh on death, then no one's going to want to die, which means then less people are going to want to risk combat, which means most people are just going to run away, which means you're going to then need to have ways to stop people running away. It means more e-warfare.
I see a Connie Andromeda at Grim and a Warden.
Well, all that kind of falls in with Chris Roberts' stated goal of making the game easy to play, hard to master.
Yeah, which is good. But when you have a 600 development team and you need to make money to keep all of that shit going and all the rest of it, you want to make sure that the game is as appealing to a wide an audience as you possibly can. You've already narrowed that audience with the PC aspect, so you're going to want to try and make it as playable for as many people as you possibly can. So yeah, I mean, that's just my thought. Obviously, that's why they got the exploration in there to make it enjoyable for other people. But yeah.
Solid point.
We'll see. We will see.
I still got my faith in St. Roberts.
Yeah, well, hey, look, I think it's good to have the faith in the person that's running the show. He's, super talented, knows what he wants, very driven, very passionate. It's his baby, so yeah, for sure.
What are you guys talking about?
It's Christ Roberts.
Got that.
Wait, don't attack this guy. Don't attack the color.
Okay.
I will say though, honestly, hats off to those cats though. They did a counterplay that we weren't expecting, which is always cool to see, and always
now we got to steal
instead of being shocked as hell at the time to kill. If that's if we try it out ourselves, because that's what you do. You take it in the mouth and then you go try to perfect that same punch yourself. And if we find out that that's just kind of the way that the numbers play out, if you have well coordinated attacks, then it's just another tactic that we've learned is effective against another hammerhead breaker, which, to be honest, is there's not a lot of them in the game right now. There's
imitation is a sincere.
Just watching this guy fall out of the sky.
I mean, the best thing that we've sort of come up with more or less is a hammerhead that's better armed than the hammerhead you're trying to fight. So if that's a true good counter, the gem is definitely still at the top of my next ship list, and B, I think we can probably scrape together enough gems ourselves to try to implement that next time. So good on those guys. Hats off.
Yeah, exactly. It's the right way to think. You can kind of, you're learning from it, which is always good.
Yeah, absolutely. So are people coming out to play at Jumptown yet, or no? Not yet.
I don't know. The guys are EMPing people, so I'm guessing they might be hitting someone.
I just left Jumptown with full cargo.
I'm working my way back to you guys.
Cool. Well, I guess, Manus, are you making some runs too? Is that what your plan is? Or no? What's that?
Sorry. Yeah, I was eating. I didn't want to eat on your stream.
No, my bad.
Yeah. No. Yes. I'm doing some. I need some money, dude. I'm like skinned.
Yeah, absolutely, of course. So we'll let. I think, what are they using, missiles or something? What's happening with this? Who's Lord Pinkerton?
Oh no, that's my toy.
All right, I won't touch him.
Why look at him?
What he's doing, but
he's falling out of the sky.
You don't have a Gemini, and I forget you can't give people Geminis, and then load it with cargo and then sell anything.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
So shit.
More's the shame.
Shit.
More's the shame. Exactly.
That's so shit.
As a group, we got plenty of gems or starfares or whatever, but as money makers, it's. I mean, you could, have that person do the cargo and then try to help them and something.
Then give you some money from it, I suppose. Yeah.
Which is what you would do potentially if you were like trying to man the gem fully and be like a protected run, and then everybody should get a little something for their turret time. What are you doing to that poor Cutlass?
Oh, I blew up 2 missiles. I'm trying to like EMP him to the ground, and then I'm gonna board him. Oh, never mind.
Oh, that's madness.
Thank you.
Successfully at Hex without being destroyed. Full load of Widow.
Success. All right. Well, for now, I'm gonna plan on getting the cat out. We'll see if that entices any takers. Come give us a hard time.
We don't want to entice too much really.
We'll be fine. This letter 9 will be alright.
Yeah, I don't expect many issues, but again, when things are too quiet, I mean, there's farming runs and stuff. That's what we did yesterday. That we farmed up a good couple 100,000 and weren't real contested until the end. But
when I started this morning, I had 150. Then I had 50. Then I had 150. Then I had 50. Then I had 150. Then I had 50. And now I have 50.
Hey, that's what happens when you spend
I'm tired.
spending that paper on hammerhead guns.
Sorry, what did you say about hammerhead guns?
That's the price you pay for being a hammerhead owner that wants to have good guns on it.
No, I lost the cargo. I was shut down. And
yeah, we got shot down.
Oh, I didn't know that. I couldn't tell because I was just sitting out there and didn't know what you got status was the whole time.
It's a fucking running drugs while we're trying to grip.
No, we were already there, and we were like, "Fuck it, I guess grab some drugs."
Let's make some money.
Fuck the team, guys.
Sua Sponte was like, "Hey, let's go to Gemtown and see what's." While everybody's like clawing for their lives at Grim. I mean, it's alright.
So, if the fact that the Raven has 2 EMPs, does that mean it can back-to-back fire them without the cooldown?
I think it's just that that's a stronger EMP.
You used to be able to do that, and then they nerfed it because people were literally just being tagged every few seconds with an EMP and just falling from the sky. It was like you ping, hit him with an EMP, then a few seconds later, ping, hit him with another EMP. And you just.
What's the point of having the 2 then?
Well, I think the way it looks is the way they're going to do it, like Snake says. I think the idea is the EMP, the more you have, I'm hoping, will mean the more powerful potentially you're able to do it. And yes, there will be a shorter cooldown on the EMP versus single ones. But the idea is you should be able to hit like a more powerful EMP, so do more damage.
I want to try EMP with 1. With 1 turned off and 1
size 4. A single size 4 and it takes like 60 seconds to recharge.
So you can charge the Raven one really quickly, but I guess what I want to find out now is if I charge one, fire it off while the other one's turned off, then turn on the other one, do I still have to be restricted to that cooldown because the other one's been off. Because maybe you could back-to-back them really fast after each other.
You can try. I always think that the whole EMP kind of mechanic at the moment is like a cat playing with a mouse.
It's better than it used to be. That's not saying much.
I like it, to be honest. That's another dimension.
It does. But it was the troll. It was the griefer tool. It literally for the stream sniper, it was like the ultimate because you would get your mate to fly an EMP, and then you'd sit there either with a tally, or you'd come in with a really powerful fighter, and then you would literally just stream snipe people. So your friend would bomb past them in the middle of something, blast them with an EMP. You failed, come back again, hit them again with an EMP, and then your mate would just take them out stream with a tally or whatever. That's it, dead.
I like
and you do it over and over
idea
again.
of it. I like the fact that, I think it's hard because when you talk about like 2v2 or 1v1, then it seems like a pretty strong situation. But you talk about like, org on org, it complicates the strategies a lot more. You have like the EMP fly-throughs, and you're like, you got to try to prioritize those guys because they can be game changers, but they're also not the thing shooting at you necessarily. So it's like, I think it adds a cool layer of complexity, but I do think it's a slippery slope. I have been seeing Hawks being used in a pretty cheeky way these days. I mean, it seems like Hawks can bring down the systems of fighters, but it's a lot more of a skill shot. Like, you got to get up there and be right next to them and have maybe done a little extra chip damage before it'll do that. I'm not sure exactly how it works
today. You had a Hawk in today fighting you. You had a Hawk in today. It was Reaper was flying around in a Hawk, pinging off his EMPs left, right, and center.
Yeah,
and
I think it's certain ships are capable. It's capable of bringing down only certain size ships, but even so, in a fighter combat scenario, that I think that those ships qualify potentially.
All it needs to do is take your shields off. If it takes your it took my shields off my glaive, and I just got pinged by one person, because I was taking fire. And it was the same yesterday. Two Hawks took my glaive down, literally sent me to the ground. Both of them hit me at the same time, and I just went to the ground.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's I like the idea of it, and the fact that it just changes. It can affect the prioritization of targets in a fight. But yeah, the ability to just turn off other people's ships is definitely a strong one. You got to be careful with that one.
I have a question. You guys from the military, don't you have airplanes that are protected from EMP?
I mean, certainly not all of them. You may be able to.
I think it's like a certain type of airplane that is protected from EMP.
I mean, I think certain systems can be protected. I don't know if your entire... I mean, you don't need electricity for an engine to run, and some of the more modern fighters are all like, fly-by-wire, so I'm sure they probably have some kind of redundancies or shielding of some kind. But yeah, I don't know. I'm really not sure if it's considered a viable threat, like the reality that they're going to need to not fall out of the sky because of an EMP attack. I'm not sure it's considered credible right now, but I mean, a nuclear strike, but now you're dealing with you got bigger problems besides the EMP. But yeah, this is obviously just me spitballing. I haven't been briefed or anything on shit like that.
If he was, he couldn't tell you.
You'd already be dead.
Yeah, I think a lot of things as well with like radar systems. That some of the strategies or something like that, they're confidential. Like they can't tell anybody how the Hornet works or something.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure a lot of that stuff is like that. I mean, there's probably a lot of doomsday scenarios that they classified and stuff. I can only imagine. I'm sure they've got a lot of smart people thinking about all the possible outcomes and stuff. But I don't know. Like from a like, I can tell you, most of my gear was not like state-of-the-art cutting edge. As much as I wish it was not. So just from that perspective, I doubt the vast majority of military hardware is shielded against EMP effects. But that's not to say that America, at least, I'm sure a lot of militaries with resources, but America certainly could spool up countermeasures if that became a realistic threat, like a viable threat. I'm sure it would become prioritized more and they'd come up with something. But
I think that artificial intelligence is more of a threat to this planet and all nations than anything else. More than nuclear weapons, more than war. Artificial intelligence, if unchecked, is actually a really serious problem. If you think about it.
Now we're getting deep.
Yeah, now the conversations begin.
Next level.
Someone say Padram.
Have you read the books, The Trackers?
I have
It's
not.
about an EMP that the North Koreans explode in the atmosphere of America, and it EMPs the whole America and disables the infrastructure.
Everyone. That's like the major Hollywood doomsday highlight there, putting the technological age back into the dark ages, making everyone go, freak out. No water, no electricity, no nothing, no communications, no nothing. People would go ape shit, go into martial law, that whole thing. That's very much a reality in the context of, war in the future. It does.
Actually, it's a much bigger threat from Mother Nature, believe it or not. Just maybe a decade ago, we barely missed a solar flare that actually would have shut down 90% of electronics across the.
That is a very solid point. And for people that have studied, ancient history and stuff like that, there's quite a lot of evidence to show that it does occur, and it can occur to us. And all the people that have had it happen back in the day never had technology the way we have it now. So when it's not an if, it's when we have a solar coronal mass ejection or a solar flare of a magnitude such that it cripples our satellites and causes our magnetic field to fluctuate and throws the Earth out of whack with the magnetic field. Yeah, that could be very, very serious for this whole planet.
Actually, the last one happened in the I think it was the 1870s or 1890s, somewhere in that time frame, and the EMP effect from the solar flare was so strong that actually electrocuted and killed telegraph operators.
Yeah,
and you can actually see
remember that.
Man, you're
What
old.
was that called again? It was called the Carrington event. That was it. The Carrington event. That's what it was.
It's my understanding that an EMP is what caused the dinosaurs to lose all their flat screen TVs.
I remember that
That's
TV
really
show.
depression that set in from that caused them all to die off and set us all back quite a bit.
Is that how the Mayans all disappeared?
It's called the plebeian dynamic theory of metaconsciousness.
Wow, the truth is, all this doomsday shit's got me wanting to have a drink, to be honest.
I know, right?
Well, the nice
Don't worry,
thing
don't worry,
go
man.
look
So I just
for
made
my
up that last
aluminum
bit.
hat.
Well, I will say
sure?
that close call we had not too far back was what finally got me to buy a solid-state drive, since those are immune to it. I will still play my Star Citizen in local, thank you.
This is why you spend your money now, spaceships, while you still have it. Because what are you going to spend your money on when there's no electricity? Huh?
Oh, my goodness.
Supplies or whatever, air quotes? No, come on.
I always
Water
love it when the power
purification
goes down.
Air filters.
I always think it's great. When the power goes down, you suddenly see everybody suddenly comes out of their houses, out of their hovels, out of their hidey holes, and suddenly starts talking to each other. It's hilarious. Everyone has a good time.
Not me, I got a UPS.
That's because they finally have something to talk about.
Look at how many games, though. If you were to literally lay them all out on the table and count all the games that are coming out right now that are all about post-apocalyptic, end-of-the-world Armageddon style, rummaging through a desolate, barren.
You're a
landscape.
great person to bring to a party. I'm bringing you, Ambassador, next time to a party.
There's a lot of them, man. There's I personally think there's some kind of agenda at play with all that stuff, but that's going into the conspiracy theories. But no, yeah, it's just interesting. Why is there so many Armageddon post-apocalyptic games? It's coming out like all at the same time.
It's because it's a reality that we can't exist. It's the same with the West, and that we have this obsession. It's a fantasy. It's about taking the gaming. It's about taking yourself out of your normal drum day boring life and put you in an environment that you don't experience or haven't ever experienced.
It's a form of romance. You know, it's a form of romance.
Exactly.
Just like just like love stories are. You know, people live vicariously through those stories because they may have a version of it, but it may not be as epic or larger than life as the one that we've lived ourselves. I mean, I can't speak for myself, you know what I'm saying? But
we want to be able to live through our cerebral cortex instead of through our physical experiences.
Snake, international man of mystery.
Exactly. International UPS delivery driver of mystery.
Did you get milk tray in America? Did you ever get that in America? Is that something that ever came over to you guys?
Well, they still do actually. Every week there's, you mean like bottles of milk delivered and shit?
No. So the European guys might know what I'm talking about here, but milk tray is like a chocolate. It's an advert. It was very famous in Europe and UK and stuff. And it's like a international kind of like James Bond type of spy character, and he would then deliver milk tray to a beautiful woman, and the trailer videos were like that. And it was, I could imagine Snake being the guy in the advert. I'll see if I can dig out one. I'll post it.
Yeah, Linker didn't happen. I love seeing other countries like adverts and stuff like that.
Yeah, ads
so
culturally
different. In chat, by the way, has been talking a little bit about like grabbing the Gladius out of buyback, or you know, if it's worth it with the new flight model and stuff coming up. And my opinion is that if the Gladius is $90 to pull out a buyback, I would grab a 325 for $20 less and enjoy it come the new patch first before I pull the Gladius out. The Gladius is a fun fighter, but it's not top of the meta, and it won't give you the tools that the 325 will have when the new meta comes out. Hell, that has right now. But
Madness, you need to pull out your Gladius, show them what it's worth.
It's not that you can't.
Did you ever see that? I'm not 100% sure if it's a real thing or if it's a
Are you
hoax.
going to talk about some more damn apocalyptic
No,
stuff?
it's totally separate. No, something cool. You're gonna
We're on a totally
no.
different
I was
subject
changing
right
subjects
now.
entirely. I was gonna say, there's this really badass weapon system I heard. It basically creates projectiles out of ice. Basically, it makes like a liquid nitrogen, like instant freeze for like snow operations. It freezes and creates a ballistic projectile. That
He's telling you that he is the damn international man of mystery.
Here, I'll show you guys that on stream. Actually, it's right here. No,
Do you? May I ask, Ambassador? Is this something that you read? Do you watch YouTube videos, or is this National Geographic?
National Enquirer.
The honest answer is a combination of a lot of different sources, but mainly I have a really, really good bullshit filter, and I watch a lot of YouTube. To start off finding the subject matter, and then I take it a lot deeper using books and encyclopedias. I start with YouTube, find stuff, and then I go.
Cash that thing in.
No, dude, I have a lot of time on my hands, so I like to learn.
Ramming you, so hold on.
Ramming speed.
My next question to you is: Do you own a bunker, and are you making yourself ready for the zombie apocalypse?
I am not. I had once considered, but I realized I don't think zombies are going to be coming my way anytime soon.
There's this thing on the freeway. I don't know if it's still there, but for a while they were selling it. It looked like a big black old-fashioned bomb, you know, like it was in video games or whatever, like a big black ball with a tube coming out of it.
Who's Lord Pinkerton? Tell me now.
He's somebody's pet. I don't know. I think Hyadney was playing with him or something. I don't know what's the status right now.
Oh, I know.
Oh, it was the guy in the cutlass I was EMPing.
Oh, ramming him.
But this guy. But it was
I'm buying
interesting.
Widow down there to keep me safe.
I'm coming in to replace you when you're done, Dressel. And it was one of those underground things. And I've seen, the Doomsday show, and there's a couple of them that are pretty well executed. And there's one guy that was like, he built his underground like, and you had to fly into it, like there was no roads to it and shit like that. The thing that a lot of people don't take into account when they do all this doomsday stuff, to be honest, is the humans are very base creatures. If shit goes south, it's gonna be gang mentality, and it's kind of like the movie The Road, which is a book which I haven't had the guts to read yet because I'll probably be terrified of humans even more than I am now. But but humans are the most rotten part of any catastrophe in general, and that's what's going to happen. Is people are going to start being shitheads, and you're going to have to, whether you dig a hole in the ground a long way away from, like, what are you going to do eventually for all the resources that you'll eventually need? You can't live in a hole in the ground forever, and so it's better to just deal with it as a group. My opinion is, if shit like that ever did go down, you'd have a lot of people with backgrounds in a lot of people in the military, to be honest, because they're just used to that and they've seen it before, that they quickly can try to band together and create sort of infrastructure that maybe other people might not really have experience doing right away, and build fucking compounds. What's that?
You get too far out. Right? That's like 400 yards or 400 meters.
If you do your homework, Snake, you'll see that the governments, not just ours, but all the governments are preparing for things of this nature, and that's what's kind of freaky about it, because you think, well, if it happens in my lifetime, it happens. There's no need to be like fear-mongering, be worried about something you can't control, so, it is wise to be like, well, if it happens, I'll deal with it when it occurs. But what's so crazy about that is that it's not just that. It goes super deep next level when you start looking into the fact that, governments themselves are well aware of pretty much every facet. They've contemplated every variable, whether it comes from natural disasters to EMPs to war to you name it, to civil unrest. They've basically calculated.
Contemplated
the governments like to do all this shit, but the government can't even properly pay all of its employees on a monthly basis, much less prepare for catastrophes like this. So, a lot of people, there may be, all these weird conspiracies and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, there's a shit ton of people on this planet, even within countries. You break it down into within countries, and there's a shit ton of people within countries, and they're going to look out for number one. I wouldn't doubt at all that people with means have, exit strategies and, bunkers underground and shit like that at the size of a city or whatever. But in general, again, people like to think things change a lot over time when bad shit starts happening, and it's the same rules of war as it is with any kind of catastrophe. It comes down to being in the weeds and people together and doing hard work and banding together and alliances and leadership, and it's just going to be a lot more base than, like, you're not going to be able to just hide in a hole and
of course
hope
not.
It passes you by.
Especially with technology nowadays, there's no way. If people think, I'm going to build a bunker or a fort or what, dude, they have such advanced technology up there with thermal and infrared and sound. There's literally so many pieces of tech that can track you from outer space without you even having a clue that they know where you're at. So it's not like you're going to hide from whether it's Uncle Sam or a government or an enemy country attacking you. It doesn't matter what your fear is, or aliens, whatever your fear is. There's no point hiding from that which you have no control of hiding from. You're basically outnumbered, outgunned, and outmanned in every possible situation. You
or
might as well
arguably
just,
even knowing it exists, potentially.
Right,
You
exactly.
make the argument that it doesn't do you any good to even, concern yourself with it.
Well, exactly right. That was the honest truth is that was my final conclusion after going down the rabbit hole researching all this stuff. I just kind of came to that conclusion and think, well, if it happens, it's one, it's outside of my control, and two, as long as I know where I'm going, if I'm dead, it doesn't matter what happens to me in my physical body. You know what I'm saying?
What's up,
especially
Magnus?
facing cancer 5 times, staring death in the face. I have had my fair share of looking death in the face, and I don't fear death anymore. So that's where I find my strength. not sure you get what I mean by that, so I'll just leave it at that. But that's where I find my strength in knowing if this apocalypse doomsday crap happens. I'm just like, well, I'm straight.
So what's up with this Hadney guy?
It's Centauri time.
User group.
Yeah, it kind of sucks not being in the group, not being able to see, but for some reason I'm not receiving your invite, so no. Sorry, I got to keep asking.
It's all right.
You know what's interesting is a lot of people said, the Vietnamese, when they were fighting the Americans, it was the same type of like, oh my god, the Americans are coming in and they're flying in these amazing things and they're going to shoot us with laser guns and we're going to die and it's all going to be terrible because they're so advanced technology and blah blah blah. And then they learned pretty quickly, it's like, oh no, they die to sticks and twigs and they can be killed by the land and they die just the same as us. They're not super,
another invite.
There was a misconception. Yes, sure, the Americans would have won it. Eventually they lost popularity, unfortunately, I think, at home.
Yeah, I'm just not getting the invites. I don't know why. Oh well.
History repeats itself, my friend. You know this.
They still die. Technology is great and all, but yeah.
The thing about Vietnam, even before the war, all the research that was done indicated that yes, the U.S. could win it, but it would take a effort in men and materials similar to that of World War II, and the government just tried to do it on the cheap. Yeah, it didn't work out so.
Avery, you are in the party. Leave first. Re-invite.
There are so many lessons to be learned from looking at history and looking at the wars of times past and how we reacted, how we responded, how we fought, how everything. There's so much to be learned to prevent those mistakes from occurring in the future. But there's only so much you can prepare for and plan for. You can't plan for everything.
Keep me out of the party because I'm not showing that I'm in.
Wait, Meg, can we test something?
Yeah, go ahead, Mitch.
Just let's go way up so that you've got time to turn your stuff back on.
You ain't gonna knock me out, nerd.
Avery, if you hit F1, do you see Snake Eater Company's party on the left column?
Negative.
Okay.
I have global chat only.
I don't know what to tell you.
Stevie actually
click on the plus sign and make your own
question in chat.
See what happens then.
Right.
Here, there's one other thing that I've tried before that works with adding to it.
I need to know the exact number.
Awesome sauce.
Exact what?
Number it does to your ship.
Let me know if somebody else is trying to buy. If somebody's waiting on buying Widow 2, I'm just gonna.
Devil just went space helmet comms. Nice.
You guys should do some PvP, land based. Do some combat
exactly.
On the station together.
Yeah, we will. We should probably try that tomorrow. Just to, we did have a lot of fun doing that in the past, doing force on force, and I think that'll be a good thing to go to. I think right now it's a little late in the night to get all that wound up. I'm a little burnt out on trying to coordinate efforts, but but tomorrow I think that would be fun.
It's tough work, dude, when you want to be the coordinator.
Yeah, I mean that's what I think a lot of people don't realize is that once you try in this game to coordinate or group together 10 to 15 people in a unified effort, people start talking about 50 people at the same time, or like 100 people at the same time. That's what's going to be, the difference between orgs and big good orgs is their ability to manage logistics and how willing to follow those, sort of whatever they put in place.
Training protocols, basically.
People are
learn how to work together.
Yeah,
right?
Because it's not, nobody, like it's a delicate balance, right? Nobody wants to come into Star Citizen after a day of work and have me barking at them like that they're not fucking doing the right thing or pulling their weight or whatever. But then on the flip side, if people are just shooting the shit,
kind of want that,
it can extend the amount of time it takes to accomplish something, or potentially even cost accomplishing something by a lot. So if you start having 50 people, like just communication, just having 50 people on the same channel, which you probably wouldn't want to do, by itself is a logistical nightmare. So it'll be interesting to see how all that stuff plays out. Hopefully they give us some good org tools and stuff as well. But
yeah, you definitely don't have 50 people, and you have like maybe 5 or 6 people in one, and then 5 or smaller pods in each, and you have their commanders, and each coming to you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Every now and again.
But to do that, you
Let's
need to have
hit the guy.
separate comm channels, because those commanders need to be in your leadership channel and in their own channels. So Discord doesn't currently allow you to do that. So we're going to have to figure out some solution for comms.
Hopefully Spectrum will. Hopefully they'll build it.
Yeah, maybe Spectrum. Yeah, maybe within game it'll give you that option.
That's what they're trying to do. I think that's the plan. Is they want to build all the comms and intercom systems and everything, void, whatever it is, into Spectrum.
50.
So you,
Megan, we got stuff to talk about. Your boy figured out some shit. That's actually crazy.
What are we talking about?
Oh, just testing EMP on.
Alright, time to one-shot match. 1 sec.
Hey Snake, have you ever seen that footage on YT of that asteroid that was hit with some kind of projectile in midair while it was about to hit the Earth, and it broke up right before hitting the Chelyabinsk meteor? You ever seen that?
Nope, I have not.
Oh my god, dude, it's amazing.
Was that Deep Impact?
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. It's basically the physical proof of the back then when Reagan, sent up Project Star Wars project, which went, kind of. It's now we have it for real. It's a real deal. Shit, they caught it on film, destroying a freaking meteor, penetrating the surface over Russia, Chelyabinsk meteor. They say if it would have hit the surface, it would have been the equivalent of 13 Hiroshima bombs. But some kind of projectile gets captured, coming at it, intercepting it in midair at ungodly, imaginable freaking velocities, and destroys the meteor in midair. And they claim that doesn't exist. But we have it on footage. It's pretty badass, dude.
Is this from the same studio that did the moon landing?
It's the same studio.
Exactly what I was thinking, Madness.
God, don't even get started on moon landing, bro.
Don't believe me. Don't take my word for it. I don't want you to. Look it up yourself. You'll see.
That's one of those things. As paranoid as the Russians are, they would have never allowed us to send a projectile over their territory. We would have been facing a retaliatory strike.
I can guarantee you. Trust me, I didn't believe it either until I looked it up and researched it myself. It's solid visual evidence, and it's also the Russian government says they have no idea what stopped the what stopped the meteor, but they know that something caused it to disintegrate, and they basically are just like, all right, United States, you have some badass weapons, thank you, we won't speak of this again. Basically, in summarization, it's pretty crazy. But yeah, it's not like they created Project Star Wars, Reagan signed it off, penned it in, and then it just disappeared and blew away. They just made it go black budget and sent it into deep dark sectors that your little public civilian ears will never hear about, and now we just caught a glimpse of it on accident, and they're like, oh, yeah, we have that. But it's pretty amazing. It's cool stuff. Knowledge is power, guys. Do your own homework. Don't believe me.
I would say that is amazing. In fact, I would call it unbelievable.
It really is. But it is totally, you can go YT it yourself. Russian Chelyabinsk meteor intercepted by projectile. Any keywords along those lines, you will find the video.
Or is it AI, deep learning, coming up with fake visual evidence to make all humankind think that the meteor really happened, but it didn't happen because the AI is making governments believe that the meteor is really made out of solid gold.
Dude, you just hit him off for the next 30 minutes.
People,
that was 10 points right
okay?
there.
That's all I'm saying. Don't be.
I believe that just as much as I believe that is shitty talking.
It's all good, man.
We
all are entitled to our opinions. I respect the fact that you guys don't believe it. Sounds crazy because it is crazy, but
no, it's not so much that
fact is usually stranger than fiction.
I don't think it's as much that it's not that people don't believe it. I think it's that the era we live in is one that's just absolutely inundated with information, and it is easier for truth to hide in plain sight, but it's also really, technology is at a point where, if you've watched deep learning or deep machine learning, where they replace people's faces on videos and stuff like that,
That shit is insane.
We're moving into a realm of technology that, I mean, when you cease to be able to really, truly believe what you see, certainly can't believe what you hear or read, you know, it becomes really hard. It becomes hard to know the truth of anything, no matter how much evidence you may think you've got or whatever. So, you know, I think it's an interesting thing. Seeking information is always better than not seeking information.
That's part of the conspiracy, though. They want you to think that it's not there.
Right, dude. It can go both ways. I don't know. I don't argue. I don't say I'm right and everyone's wrong. I say there's solid arguments on both sides. They both make perfect logical sense. One thing, yeah, the evidence could be true and it could be really amazing. Or B, that could be. I mean, with Photoshop and technology and CGI nowadays, you could fake just about damn near anything. So you never know, you know, there is valid arguments on both ends. But, you know, when it all comes down to it, just video evidence alone obviously does not corroborate stuff of that nature. But when you start having, you know, high-ranking military officials that are literally coming out and going on record in front of Congress saying that we have, you know, I won't mention certain things, hot words, algorithms, but yeah, there's certain things that they're going on record saying, yep, this is a fact, this is true. Then that's when you start to scratch your head and go,
you know, I'm trying to get partnered here. Don't let government start shutting down my stream just because you're saying hot words.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't say any hot words. I just said,
though, like, this is my view on that one is like, who pays their wage? The Congress does, right? So why you wouldn't want to say
whose wage?
Like the military guy, their wages get paid by Congress, right? They've signed the bills that give them the huge $1 trillion or whatever ridiculous amount of money in the budget.
Yeah,
even the money that
Congress
they get.
approves the
So
budget and all that.
If
Congress
you
approves
have
the
any
budget.
curiosity to discuss these things in a private format, I'm more than willing to talk about anything
Which
with
doesn't
anyone
really
in my
exist,
private channel.
technically
But not. I'm
speaking,
going to be respectful of Snake's stream and not bombard his stream with conspiracy stuff.
Thank you.
Privacy is a myth.
So I respect that. But if you want to talk about stuff, dude, my name is the ambassador of truth for a reason, brother. So,
all right,
I'll leave it at
folks,
that.
I'm afraid I'm going to have to jump out at this point. My lady and I are both hungry, which means I get to go cook. All right, folks. Till next time.
Hey, thanks, Avery. Have a good night. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight.
My pleasure, man.
Soon.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, man. Have a good night, brother. See you soon. Yeah, I kind of, at the end of the day, I tend to agree with Captain Jackster. The world generally is a simpler place than most people want to believe it is. But I'm not saying there aren't secrets. I'm not saying there aren't things we learn about down the line that we should have and certainly wish we had known a long time ago. But I also think that you know, my mother, for example, used to think that there was like the military had these experiments on soldiers, and they forced soldiers to like take steroids and experimented with certain drugs on them and stuff like that. And you know, then I, of course, joined U.S. Special Forces. If anybody takes experimental drugs for performance reasons, it would be the, you know, Special Forces of the U.S. Army. And I had to level with my mom. I'm like, they can't even straighten out how to get my fucking ID in a timely manner, much less come up with some crazy ass drugs that are performance enhancing and make me some super soul. Like, that is way out of their fucking reach. Like, way out of their reach. Like, maybe there's some underground lab that works on that stuff on like onesies and twosies, but there's no way that gets implemented in the current system, you know, in any real way. And that's like a small example of people's perception of something that goes way deeper than it really.
Breaking my illusion, Snake. Hang on. International man of mystery.
I saw a show the other day where these guys were killed, like attacking some sort of dam, and then they died, but then they were brought back to life again, and they were like super soldiers for the military, and they had like a black van and huge truck, and they were driving around killing people.
Oh yeah, that's
Snake.
Rogue. That part's real. Yeah.
Snake used to grab the dead.
I can't remember what it was called. Something about some soldier name or something. I can't remember what it was.
Unless
I was
I'm
sure
telling
that was
you
real.
The truth thinking. You're going to think it's not the truth, but it really is.
No, I'm sure, Ambassador of Truth, we love you, buddy. We love you, buddy. I love the
It's alright. You guys can give me all the shit you want. I eat it for breakfast all day long from many other people. It's all good.
The truth.
No.
It's I think it's. I think some of the stuff is interesting because some of it I've listened to some of it. I go, oh, it's a bit.
I'll say this one sentence, really cool. and I'll leave it behind us. I had a lot of time on my hands going through cancer treatment. I'm a 5-time cancer survivor, so I have gone through Hodgkin's lymphoma like numerous times in my life. So many points where I've had to take time off work, get put on SSI. I'm bored out of my freaking mind, sitting at home all day for freaking years on end. I'm just, dude, I was a brain sponge. All I did was I love to learn. Knowledge is power, and I love to learn things. So I just was like a brain sponge, soaking up just literally, no exaggeration, hundreds, if not thousands of hours of material and data. And I've just calculated all the data collectively and come to my conclusions. And that's where my stance comes from. It doesn't come from 2 YouTube videos. It comes from, a collective collaborative amount of data over the course of 10 years of doing tons of study on every subject I could, go down the rabbit hole on. And I feel it's important to share with my fellow comrades. And I mean, in general, just not to be cliche, but being honest, I mean, I love people, dude. People can be bad, but people can be also, I think, amazing. And I love people in general. So I like to share what I have learned with others. And, but then again, you can't ram stuff down people's throats. You have to, if somebody's willing to listen or learn or wants to, then of course I'm open to that. But I don't, force to say I'm right and everyone's wrong. That's not, not right.
So, I'm just gonna say one thing. Like, you did just call us comrades, so you're probably a Russian spy. That's all I'm thinking.
What Twitch? What'd you say?
No, I said I'm done spooling. I'm just escorting you.
Oh, thanks, man. My
sleeper agent, Snake. He's a sleeper agent. I've heard about these Russian people that are secrets, and then they come onto the gaming community now, and they mess our minds. And it's propaganda against us. Spread propaganda. I've heard about this. It's true. I'm not denying this. This is true. It's been proven.
They are controlling my brain. I must escape. No, but yeah. This world is a crazy place, man. There's a lot to take in. There's a lot to learn. A lot to discover. I mean, for instance sakes, to break subjects and go away to something else, just to have some fun, talk about some fun stuff. I'm sure Snake would probably dig this too. Like the pyramids.
Do you know what? Do you know what's interesting? But you know, I'm going to bring this to Star. I'm going to bring this into Star Citizen rather than into Pyramid Land. So what I'm going to bring this into Star Citizen because
did you know there's a whole group of people that have actually created this universe that we're.
Hang on.
No, I'm not going into the alien thing. I was just going into the technology itself. It's so advanced we still can't replicate.
Chris Roberts is actually an AI.
Do you ever think maybe your character's playing you instead of you playing your character?
Oh, mind blown.
Right
there.
So
character's logging on and playing you around.
Ready Player One.
What are you saying, Matters?
Okay, we can bring it back to pyramids in a second. It's fine because this is one. Many people say this about pyramids, and I'm interested in where you're going. We'll talk about it in a second. But what I was going to say with Star Citizen is in terms of like theories and stuff. I know this for a fact because many of the times that many of us we all theory craft and talk about stuff. And we might miss the mark on some things, but some of the stuff I've spoken to people who know stuff at COG have confirmed things to me that people have theorygraphed and talked about. So for as much, like, a bit like there was a movie with Mel Gibson where he's kind of like, he's this weird thing, but like he's a conspiracy nut or something. But there's definitely a case where sometimes you might actually touch on a truth or closer to a truth than you realize. There could be loads of other garbage and shit around it, but sometimes you might actually hit a truth that you don't realize, but because of all the other nonsense around it, it's kind of it can kind of mess it up a bit. But
there's misinformation to disguise the truth. There's little nuggets of truth hidden in plain sight, and there's lots of bullcrap and fake misinformation all surrounding it. It's like literally trying to find a needle in a haystack to get the good stuff. It takes a lot of time. And that's intentional. So that's all
about your pyramid. If you're going to tell me that the technology to make pyramids, we haven't been able to replicate it, that's utter garbage, by the way. We make glass pyramids now. They couldn't even make glass pyramids back then. They made solid stone pyramids. We make glass pyramids.
Man. Trust me.
I don't think it's that we don't know.
You want to go down that rabbit hole?
Know how they made them.
You will start to dedicate like weeks of your lifespan researching this. If I start telling you about it, you're gonna be like, "What? Yeah, right. You're full of crap." And then you're gonna be like, you're gonna look it up and be like, "Oh my God, he's right."
Hey, I'm not. Hey, look. I'm not denying the Egyptians weren't amazing mathematicians and were incredible. They made those things that have lasted for thousands of years. Congratulations to the tools they had.
That is not even the tip. No. Let me break this down in one sentence for you. The technology that is hidden in the pyramids of Giza is so far beyond what you can even comprehend. We're told in our history books that they were basically for the afterlife, so that they could, preserve. Look here, let me make it short and sweet. The pyramids of Egypt have been shown by numerous studies to have so much technology going on inside of them that we cannot replicate it today. What I mean by that is acoustic, harmonic, resonant frequencies matching the frickin' frequencies of the Earth, and these crystalline quartz blocks using piezoelectric effect, which is I'd have to explain it for a solid 10 minutes.
We can't replicate it. How do we even know what it is?
Because they've studied. Well, here, I'll give you guys one example to pique your interest. Okay, so the Queen's Chamber, it's the main chamber that's in the center, the dead center of the pyramid. If you're looking at it in a 3D hologram, it's like the Queen's Chamber. It's made out of 20-ton, they're these giant, rectangular pieces of solid blocks of crystalline quartz. And if you know how a quartz watch works, that's why they're called quartz watches, is because they squeeze a tiny little piece of quartz inside by two plates, electroplates. And that squeezing effect creates what's called the piezoelectric effect, which generates electric current. Well, these blocks are basically 20-ton piezoelectric blocks. And these blocks are also tuned to the F-sharp chord, and they know this because NASA has taken acoustic instruments in there and fired all kinds of sound waves at it. You can look this all up. It's all public knowledge. It's just kind of suppressed because it's quote-unquote forbidden knowledge, and it's not proven by modern day, scientific stuff. But there's all kinds of little Joes, little mom and pop studies that have been done for the past 20-something years, and they all have the same exact results. It's as if basically the little guys are trying to show what's really true, and the big guys are trying to shut up and say, no, it's just all about going to the afterlife. That's not. But when you really look at the evidence for what it actually shows, the blocks the blocks themselves inside the pyramid are so laser straight, flawless, that they're literally impossible to be replicated today, even by modern day machinery. They are 90-degree, laser straight, flawlessly stacked together so tightly you can't put a razor blade between them. They have the actual design of the pyramids are mathematically perfect to that of the golden ratio, pi, all kinds of mathematical equations. It's freaking mind-blowing. And when you get really, really deep into it, you start to discover that just in one simple nutshell, the pyramids had nothing to do with the afterlife. They were massive wireless electrical generators. They literally generated wireless electricity. They know that there's no carbon residue or soot on the internal areas of any of the pyramids. Not one single mummy has ever been found inside the main pyramids. They're all found in the Valley of the Kings. It's also a massive misconception. Go ask any Egyptologist, they'll tell you that. But we're all told that they find all these mummies in the pyramids. That's all horseshit. They're all found in the Valley of the Kings. These pyramids...
And they're power generators. They're giant power generators.
Yeah.
And they had,
exactly. And
hey,
they have,
you know what?
They have
Cheers to that. I love the idea of
that. Showing it.
I love the idea that they have these. I love the idea they have power generators. I know we had... But then to think that we couldn't do that back in the day is foolish, because at the end of the day, I think that humans are incredibly bright throughout all of civilization. If you look at the cycle of civilization, we have a rise and a fall. Human numbers rise and fall of all the time. Civilizations have risen and then crashed, risen and then crashed. It's very obvious. You can see it.
I see something else rising and crashing right now.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah,
I'm about to lose all my money because of this fucking dumbass game. This dumbass fucking thing.
Bringing it back to Star Citizen. But I love the idea that there are power generators. I think that would be a fabulous story. It could also be that they just they had a fascination with Casio watches as well.
Well, it's not just them though. That's what's so fascinating about it. It's not just the Egyptian pyramids. It's all across the magnetic ley lines that are found on all the megalithic structures all around the world, from Easter Island to Stonehenge to Pumapunku. to
Yeah, but that just tells you something about humans, though, right? It tells you something. We're bright. We're bright. We've been bright for a long time, and I go with the philosophy, like, we're bright. Look at our civilization now. If you actually look at the graph of technology and how the civilization 100 years ago in America, it was pretty much plain lands and just fucking people were still shooting each other with cowboy western guns and shit. In the space of like 100 years, civilization in our country and around the world has just boomed.
Let me just tell you
Massively.
this. Why do you think, and I'm not saying Illuminati, it's not what I'm saying completely separate. Why do you think that there is the Egyptian pyramid on the back of the dollar bill? It's not just that whole, it's the Illuminati logo. No, it's actually a lot deeper than that. And it's because the technology contained in what they discovered there back then and what they have kept quiet for all these years, it revolves around basically, imagine if you didn't have to use fossil fuels, right? And you were able to create wireless electricity that was free and no wires, and it's unlimited, and it doesn't require burning.
Okay, hang on. All right, that's possible, but equally it could be just that the pyramids were a newly discovered kind of like phenomenon back then, and the guy was like, "Hey, dude, these pyramids are fucking cool. I'm going to put one of these on these bills."
Well,
because artists like cool things. Like I like, someone's lighting me up with a missile.
It's a lot deeper than that when you start looking at the depths of how far-reaching that goes.
Who's at Jump Down?
Just glance at it and hear some guy tell me about it. I did years of study on this.
You guys are not at Jump Down anymore. Fuck.
No, just left.
That's one thing about me in particular. I don't speak about things that I don't know about.
Yeah.
If I don't know something, I will straight up say I don't know. But if I'm certain that I've seen enough evidence to make a determinate decision on something, then I'll share it if I feel it's valuable. And this is one of those subjects that I feel is very valuable information, because once you clearly discover the first few pieces, you'll start to do your own homework, not listen to my quote-unquote crazy ass, right? And you will discover all these things on your own, and you'll be far better off.
Don't EMP me! Don't EMP me! Fuck!
Just look up the technology in the pyramids, do your own homework, check it out, and
You
you'll
just
see
killed
what
me.
I'm talking about.
Fuck.
That's where I'll leave that.
Oh my god, I just fucking
Yep,
did it.
I think
Oh
you
my
find,
god.
and a lot of times in the world you find what you're looking for. There's counterpoints. There's people that make very good points in the opposite, and a lot of people will come up with their own conclusions in a way. No, it's just that they're well-formed opinions, and that's all they are.
Thank you. You have no. Sorry to interrupt. You have no idea. I was upside down, dude, and then the ground was about 10 foot away from the top of my ship when I got my power back.
Oh no! Don't storm my ship.
That was cool. Yeah, I find it. I always say that there's, for as much as the advanced overlooking into a subject, there could also be the really simple. He just really liked a pyramid. Whoever was the designer, it could also be that type of thing. It can be as simple and as complicated as it could possibly be. Yes, there could be great meaning behind
razor.
It could also just be, I kind of like. Because I've done that many times.
My train of thought. I forgot what we were talking about.
People
I
have
just
guessed.
stored my ship and teleported me in here with full load. Hopefully. Oh no! Crap.
Yeah.
But yeah. This technology we were talking about earlier is a real thing, man. It's pretty impressive.
Nah, dude, I'm definitely gonna look into that, because I do love the idea that the pyramids were huge generators. Because it's like, why couldn't they be? Why not? I mean, just
somewhere
real
that
power
they were like a
They basically
nuclear
used the
power
same
plant.
tech that Tesla, with his Tesla towers. You know how the Tesla towers implemented that technology back in the,
he
what was it, the 70s, 40s?
He wanted to do wireless power, didn't he? That was his he was gutted. He failed, but he was
He
all
did not
driven.
fail. That is not true.
Oh,
He succeeded, and it was all money and greed. He said, "I want to make this free for the world," and then they said, "Well, we want to monetize it," and then they cut his funding. If you look it up, they pulled his funding, and they completely stopped funding the project entirely and wanted to monopolize this. Tesla wanted to give free energy to the world to make the world a better place and give it to everyone for free. And the people that were funding his project said, "Oh hell no, we're gonna make a buck off this," and that's what happened. And so that's.
Can I get cover at Jump Town, please? Just shout out there. Just realizing. Sorry to interrupt you. Because we're still playing the game. Jump Town cover if there's anyone around, just in case. Because I just realized that I just got attacked and there's no one here.
I escorted. I'm on my way back.
Alright, dude. No worries. I just could have just literally filled my Widow. I've just filled it up and I'm like, shit, I'm completely exposed.
Oh, good.
It's okay. It'd be my fault if I
Still got my
die.
Widow filled it.
I did. Well, I love Tesla. I think Tesla, the character of Tesla, is beautiful. The fact that he's being romanticized heavily, and I like lots of great, interesting characters that get romanticized in TV and history and stuff. But
that is true.
Yeah,
they do get romanticized for sure.
He was a very, very cool dude.
The fact that he accomplished that particular feat and at that time frame, way back then, that was a massive undertaking, and it's definitely historically a fact that he succeeded at creating his wireless electricity Tesla towers, but they shut it all down.
Really? I didn't think he did. I genuinely didn't think he did. I know he definitely wanted to bring free power to people and stuff. I just thought he had a bit of a breakdown from what everyone tells us. He had a bit of a moment.
And
did he die poor as well? Poor in a little.
He certainly did. He died poor and broke, and
yeah,
it's actually very sad how his life ended. But it's all true nonetheless.
Well, not really. He's immortal, so it's not. Didn't end that bad.
Yeah, I guess
it's immortalized. Maybe he would like to appreciate. It's hard to appreciate when you're dead.
All right.
If you're up there, Tesla, well done.
Well done, Mike.
I tell you who's fascinating actually is H.G. Wells and the predictions of H.G. Wells. Have you read into this? Have you seen some of those things that he predicted in his not? I don't think he intentionally predicted, but some of the the ideas that he had in his stories. And that have actually become true. No, H.G. Wells, I believe it is, not Orwell.
The name
there's
is
like a low. Let me just check. I'll double check if I'm right. I'm not an encyclopedia like you. I don't think. I think I could talk. Honestly, I think I need to roll a joint and spend probably a good afternoon trying to.
I have friends that literally bring themselves over to my house just to sit down and talk for hours. This is a common thing for me. That's why I chose this crazy name, dude. I like to share deep stuff with friends. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy it.
You should be good now, Snake.
Cool.
But then again, I'll save that for my stream on my stuff. I want to be respectful of Snake. If this is not something he wants on his stream, of course I'm going to respect that.
Well, it's the kind of the evolution that happens at 3 a.m. in the morning on stream. It doesn't bother me.
I guess that's what happens when guys start shooting the shit and having a powwow late at night in spaceships when there's nothing else to do. Right?
Yeah, as long as it avoids topics of religion, politics, and
of course, that's
stays
a
positive,
no-brainer.
then
Absolutely.
as well.
No, here's one for you. So here's one, just because I love this stuff, because this is a sci-fi writer. So he wrote this in 1923. Okay, so Wells invites readers to a futuristic utopia that essentially Earth, after thousands of years of progress, in this alternative reality, people communicate exclusively with wireless systems that employ a kind of commingling or voicemail and email-like properties.
Now, just so I have a background, this is written when? When was this?
1923.
23. Wow,
a lot of times, though, what I think is interesting about that, because a lot of times creatives, have envisioned worlds that came to be. What I think is even more interesting is that the distance between their visions, creatively, science fiction, if you will, and reality, that gap has shortened a tremendous amount. If you look at stuff like Prometheus or whatever, we're starting to retroize sci-fi now at this point, because it's more interesting to have like broke ghetto stuff from the future like Star Wars or Blade Runner than it is to have like true wicked super futuristic, because you come up with some concept that's quote unquote super futuristic and you're like, yeah, I mean, it's actually, I saw something like that at CES just yesterday. They're trying, they're going to come out with that pretty soon. It's like, there's not a lot of stuff out there anymore that we can envision that is like way out there. The only things that remain are like space travel and like some of those concepts that we don't live on a daily basis. But the tablet screens and walking around with screens in our hands and like wirelessly talking to people and all those concepts that used to be like insane science fiction. You know,
Snake.
weapons.
There's a great quote. Snake. There's a great quote by a monk, I think, in the 14th century. There's no point inventing anything. Everything has been invented before. There's no point doing anything. We've reached the peak of our civilization, or something. And this was written like 300 years ago, and then look where we've landed.
Just remember what Einstein said. Einstein said it best. I know not what weapons World War III will be fought with, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones.
Here's an interesting one for you, again, from H.G. Wells. Okay? Yeah, no, right. It's not back to the doom and gloom again with Ambassador. Here's an interesting one for you.
It's just talking about our technology would be so advanced that we look at us, man. Look at what at what us crazy humans are doing with all the weapon systems we have. All of our just look at one list of hardware from one country alone. Especially us, the military might of the United States. Dude, we have so much stuff. Everything we focus on is killing each other and destroying anybody who opposes that which we believe or, own or have or want, period. Whether that be the space race, whether that be going all the way back to the cowboys and Indians, taking the land because we want it, it's ours. To now what we have nowadays with, F-35s and 5 million light years beyond that, scalar weapons and which most people don't even believe those exist, but
that does exist. Crazy. That happens, but I don't think that's the entire, source of all of our technological advancements. In fact, these days, I would hazard a guess that most of our technology does not come from the military.
Oh, that is a solid point there. That's another rabbit hole. Yeah, you're right on that.
I'm just saying that the consumer market now demands such standards and such capabilities and has such a ravishing appetite for new stuff and technology, and their standards are so high. Like, it's all coming. We demand a cell phone that is twice as fast, twice as bright, twice as thin, and faster in data and all that every single year. Every 12 months that we demand that. And it's like,
do we
our
demand
phones are
that?
already about 5 generations past that.
Do we demand that, or do the shareholder?
What's that?
The shareholder, the ones. When you say that, I don't demand a new phone every year, but the shareholders demanding that I have to think about buying a new phone every year because
that's
then it
different.
lines their
I think
pockets.
the shareholders want a new phone to come out so that they can sell the concept of a new thing that people are desperate to buy. But I do think consumers want the thing that is twice as good every single 12 months. I don't think it's realistic to expect that. It's kind of like, if you really look at now where phones are, I mean, the form factor isn't changing a lot year to year because it's really difficult to come up with there was a time when the improvement was vast, but now it's kind of like they've dialed it in pretty good.
Well, why? Because there's a physical scientific limit that when you get transistors to the point of being one
way before that. We're just talking about like the size of the phone in your pocket. I mean, what do you
that's what I'm saying.
How thin do you want thin? Credit card thin? Like, doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, I think that it comes down to our state of I guess what I was alluding to is that the source of technology and development now is financially driven, whereas it used to be there was a time when the military was the one who was coming up with some crazy ideas and putting money into developing those ideas. Hell, even the space program was the primary source of new, crazy, advanced technology at one time. That is no longer the case. They may come up with some cool stuff because they've got to try to get stuff to Mars or whatever, but generally speaking, the height of technology does not come from governments or armies or even the space program. It comes from Silicon Valley. It comes from the consumers. There's way more money to be made selling technology than there is to be made hoarding it. And I'm not saying that governments and militaries and even corporations don't try, but it doesn't change the fact that I just think that it's where we've come, and it's the fact that we all expect this level of future that we used to only be able to see in movies and stuff, and it's like, I don't know.
I agree with that statement to a certain degree. Well, let me ask: has anybody in this room ever heard of smart dust? Does that ring a bell for anybody? Smart dust?
I think I'm selling it right now at Levski.
Smart desk.
Smart dust is the code name for the world's smallest computer. Basically, it's basically a computer that can be implanted into the human body. That's why it's designed, and it's so small that it literally fits the entire computer with RAM, battery, processor, even a tiny camera. The entire thing fits on the side of the edge of a dime. This technology,
but I've seen
it's
stuff
called
that you
Smart
put
Dust.
into
It's made by
your
Intel
dog.
and DARPA,
You know,
and it's mind-blowing, freaking craziness, dude. We have computers so advanced right now that our smartphones makes our smartphones look like a joke. I mean, like 100 terabytes of storage space on something the size of an SD card. And
yeah, and it costs $100 million to execute right now. It's just the way of technology. I think that the thing that I get frustrated by sometimes is the withholding of technology for milking out generational profits. So an example is, we're not really. There's some technologies we're probably at the realistic edge of, meaning it doesn't make sense for them to. I mean, nobody's going to buy a $100,000 GPU. They're not going to make a lot of money off of that because 10 people will be able to buy those. But there's other things that they control the pace with which they bring out technology, and NVIDIA insists that transistors have reached a physical limitation, and it's true. We probably aren't. None of us are going to be putting liquid nitrogen in our computers anytime soon, and all that. But still, it's known that they've done that. They've sort of trickled out technology to try to maximize profits. And the only thing that I think about is where would we be these days? We consider ourselves pretty technologically advanced as a species, but I do wonder where we'd be if we were just leaning forward on it like 100% of the time, all the time. You know what I mean? Like getting that shit out there as fast as possible.
That would be very cool.
I do the same thing. I dream of. I wonder if you mix like. You always hear of one company coming out with one cool enhancement, like, oh, we came up with this enhancement. Oh, that would be neat. Okay, well, this other company came out with this thing. Imagine if you collectively took the best inventions of every different thing and combined them into one collective unit.
You have Star Citizen.
You'd have Star Citizen, like the multi-diplexer that was made by Intel that literally transfers at the speed of light. No longer has.
We'd have loot boxes.
Like literally light.
That's what we'd have.
Mix that with a quantum computer.
Loot boxes.
Put that in a freaking. I mean, you start stacking this stuff up. Start stacking all this tech, and what do you get? And then put it inside of a artificial intelligent, AI algorithm, and then put that inside one of these new, one of these new robots by like Hanson Robotics, new crazy DARPA robots. You start mixing all these things together and collectively stitching together the tech. We are capable, if we work together, put our heads together, or basically made some kind of company or organization, in the real world, some corporate level that mixed this tech together. My God, dude, the sky's the limit.
Saying that though, on a fundamental level, also, we as human beings are far better at a competitive level than at a docile working together. You need to, like, if you look at the fact of our advancements in technology, often the speed of which comes at competition. So if you look at war, there's a huge competition there for technology. Like there's a massive, so all that technology that came from World War II and all those scientists and everything else, there was a competition to get better, faster weapons, better this, better that. It's the same thing with the space race and Russia. It was like, we got to get there faster than these guys. So there's a huge push, a much more speedy push through competition than there is necessarily all working together. You kind of take your time and, it's okay, we haven't got anyone else competing against us, we can take our time. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Right.
I think you have to have both. I mean, there's no doubt that it benefits people to have brain trusts of people all working toward the same goal, but at the same time, you're right. I think it's been proven many times that having some kind of motivating factor, external motivator, is a good thing for productivity.
Yeah. I mean, an asteroid about to smash into our planet, for example.
We need more of
Right.
If we knew an asteroid was coming to hit our planet, for example, trust me, every single person, like government would all get together and get the smartest people working on a solution together to try and stop that from happening. I guarantee it. Because it's all in our interest to try and sort this shit out. 100%.
Man, that's a whole other one. I'll resist myself on that one because there is solid evidence to show everything you just said is not fantasy. It's actually absolute reality.
Somebody's still guarding.
They know for a fact we're going to get hit by a meteor.
I'm almost done selling. I've got probably.
We always get hit by meteors.
I'm not going to go religious. I'll just say one sentence. So, according to the Bible, if someone does believe it, the Bible prophesies that will occur in the future, according to biblical scholars. So they take that nugget of truth,
7, is he
take
friendly?
that deeper, and that's like where everyone gets that whole word
we're
apocalypse
dangerously
from.
close now,
That word.
Ambassador. We're dangerously close
Yeah.
now, brother.
I'll pause. I'll backstep there, but like I was saying, the doomsday scenario, it's the big thing. It's in every movie, it's in every television show, it's in all the new games. Everything's about this. Oh, doomsday, gloom and doom.
Okay, moving away from doomsday, moving today because we're going into danger territory. Here's an interesting one for you. So again, for some H.G. Wells prediction. Okay, so you got to think of the time frame of this. 1898, he releases The War of the Worlds. Okay, now they think about it. 1898. I don't even know if there was cars then.